Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Hashtag Anime Talk. This is episode 23. I am your host, Mr. Lyndon Burton, joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Chris SJE. Chris, how you doing today, brother?
I'm Gucci Bandana, man.
Man, look, ladies and gentlemen, should we give him some insight on what was happening a couple minutes ago?
Man, we was testing the location, testing the camera, you know what I'm saying?
We're so close. It's about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. This podcast will be on YouTube very soon, probably by the next episode, because if you notice, we dropped our My Hero Academia Chapter 220 review. I reviewed the manga chapter, so we're going to be doing that now, giving you guys more YouTube content in the off weeks that aren't the podcast based, because the podcast will be the main anime show, but during the off weeks, you may get a manga chapter review from me, maybe a video from Krissa, or a video from both of us. But we're going to be doing a lot more video content throughout the off time, as well as putting this podcast on video. So I'm super excited. The time is here. The set's almost perfect. Got to add a couple more things, but soon enough, the video content will be here sooner than later, as well as merch. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this podcast, remember to subscribe to the Bros Who Think podcast. The first 50 subscribers will be entered into a giveaway to receive some free merch. We're probably going to be giving it to pull 5 names from the first 50, and then we'll mail you out an Anime Talk shirt, as well as probably a Bros Who Think Network shirt. So be excited, you'll get some merch and win the first giveaway. So remember, subscribe, first 50 subscribers. But Chris, we got a lot of news to get into.
A lot.
So let's jump into it. The first thing we got on the docket: Dragon Ball Super will be returning in July 2019. It's a rumor as of now, reported by Yonko, as well as, I believe, Geekdom 101. Don't want to miss out on giving anybody their credit where credit is due. So, how do you feel now that the rumor, it seems a little more solidified than it was in January, now that the Moro arc is going on?
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about it? Do you think when they come back, it's going to start with Broly and then get to Moro, so they give the manga enough time to build some stuff? Or how do you think this release schedule is gonna go?
I'm not sure, because I know that they're trying to deny it. They're trying to, like, I've seen Toei kind of be like, nah, we ain't working on that. Wink wink. Because they did that before. Like, whenever somebody beats them to the punch with announcements and shit, they're like, hey, we not doing that. And then they announce it later. It's like, I thought y'all wasn't doing that. Y'all just wanted to be the motherfucking ones to announce it. But hopefully, I just hope that they don't go in the same direction as, and this is contrary to what I've probably said on Twitter, but I just hope they don't go in the direction of, like, Heroes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even if I've always said I wanted longer episodes of Heroes, but I want to keep Heroes as Heroes. Because I'm looking at that, like, I don't know if you've been keeping up with watching the new episodes or anything.
It's
but
crazy.
They got like fucking Baby Vegeta back. They got Baby Jiren and shit like that. They got like Jiren getting taken over by
none
a
of it makes sense.
They got like Jiren versus Combo. I'm so lost at what's going on. They got a new character called Hearts, and Hearts just looks like food with more drip.
We still don't understand what food would happen to any of that.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what the fuck is going on in Heroes, but I'm thoroughly entertained.
Just because
like,
it's good fights.
Just seeing Jiren versus Combat and seeing Baby Jiren and then seeing fucking Baby Vegeta and seeing Goku pull up, getting trained by the Grand Priest and punching the shit out of... Dude literally punched Vegeta so hard the tuffle came out of him. I've been watching it. I've been like entertained thoroughly. And when I'm telling you, I'm like hype as hell to play Heroes on the Switch because some gameplay... I've seen some gameplay leak this week. So I've been seeing a bunch of the gameplay. But as far as the actual super anime,
canon,
to answer your question, I feel like I do not want to see the Broly movie reanimated because it's going to take away from the Broly movie.
True.
What I do want to see is maybe an episode or two addressing the Broly situation that had happened.
Yeah.
If they do give us any kind of Broly content, give us a recap.
Especially, I think more so they gotta, because at some point they're gonna bring him to Earth. They might as well do it in the first little bit and just say, like, now they don't even have to do the movie over. Just do us a little arc where Broly is in Earth and they're just like training or something. So just something to smooth us before Moro. But it's also been announced that if it does come back, Shintani's going to be doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing I've been most excited about. Shintani's going to be working on it. They had all kind of pictures released. I don't know if they're real or fake, but they're definitely like Shintani art designs, and it looks like shit that wasn't in the Super movie.
Yeah.
It could be clips
of the deleted scene, because there is 73 minutes worth of footage.
And I'm excited about that. Like, I'm excited about that more than anything. We got more than an hour of unreleased footage.
Why didn't put that in the movie? Like, that's crazy.
The movie would have been like damn near like 3 hours.
It might have been better.
It probably would have been better. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people think, oh no, it's gonna take away from the experience. We need the hour 45. I think it was like an hour 45.
Yeah, it should, look, if I'm gonna go sit down and watch a 2-hour Marvel movie, what's stopping me from watching a 2.5-hour Dragon Ball Z movie?
I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, I'd sit down and watch a legendary epic movie. Maybe give us an intermission. I don't care. I wouldn't mind stopping the movie mid-movie at like the 2-hour point. Be like,
You
hey,
cool
y'all
with
gotta go
intermission?
piss. I mean, not 100%, but I could get it. Like, I could get if they paused the movie for a second.
Nigga,
to be
y'all
like,
just go
hey,
piss and come back and ask the person you with next to
this
what
movie
happened.
long, bro. Y'all might want to take a piss before. Like, at least give us a warning beforehand or something. I don't know. But I wouldn't mind. I'm one of those people who like went to see Battle Guys in the theaters and got excited to see the director's cut. I'm one of those people who like to rewatch shit a million times at home anyway. So it's gonna be better to watch it the full 3 hours over and over at my house until I get a full kind of digestion of how the movie was meant to be seen. It's a beautiful thing. Like, I'm excited to see it. I do wish we would have got it sooner, but what would they have had for us with the Blu-ray release? You know?
They gotta make some money somehow. So I'm definitely gonna be excited to check that out. But in terms of Super coming back, it's coming back. Let me just say this: when Super was out and it was one of the front runners due to Ultra Instinct and hype, but My Hero was just getting big.
Yeah.
One Punch Man had just finished. Attack on Titan was nowhere to be found. There was no Promised Neverland. There was no Dr. Stone coming. There was no Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. I'm just saying. It's
they gotta come with it.
You can't come out in 2019 and expect to put out that quality y'all was putting out where some people look phone. Like, you can't do that in this.
And let's be,
not in 2019.
Let's give them like a little bit of credit, because halfway through they booted up. The first half they had no competition. I don't even think My Hero was out whenever
I don't think so.
the first 2 seasons of Super was out, and that's the seasons that got shitted on the most. And understandably,
yeah.
But whenever they started booting up with the Tournament of Power, then they were competing with some heavy hitters. Like a little bit before that, even the Goku Black arc.
Yeah, I think it was the Goku Black arc that when I started to being like, all right, Super's real.
Now see, and then around that time, people still had a lot of complaints watching the Black Goku arc. They had a lot of complaints watching the pre-Tournament of Power shit. All understandable, and they had a lot of new competition coming out, but now they got a lot of heavy competition. So I feel like they know that. I feel like they have to bring Shintani. They have to bring all the things. The reasons why we love the Broly movie, I feel like they're like, okay, now we know what direction to go in. The direction we were going in with the movie was a success. It was a tester.
Yeah.
You could tell the way Super ended off that they left it open for more.
Yeah, they definitely did.
They were like, okay, this is going to be the end for now. We're going to have to, not saying rebrand, we're going to have to kind of
We're just going to have to get our plan together. Because honestly, let me say this. I don't think the Tournament of Power lived up to the hype that was set in the beginning. Going into the Tournament of Power, you had all these speculations of, okay, now we just had this Goku Black stuff, bad angels. You set up all this coalition of the gods. You set up all this hierarchy from Xeno on down. None of that got executed, and I think it was, all right, we got to finish this off somehow, leave it open-ended, and develop a plan to execute on some of this stuff, or, like you said, to just switch it all the way around and go in a totally new direction. It's either we got to refix our old plan or just go in a totally new direction. But either way, with the competition that they're facing, if they don't do either or, they're going to be 5th on the 2019 list, maybe lower.
Now, see, I really, and I agree with you, the Tournament of Power, looking at it in hindsight, didn't deliver. In the heat of the Tournament of Power, every episode, we were like, like, I remember being one of those week-to-week watchers that was like on the edge of my seat every week. And then sometimes you would get an episode where you were like, meh.
Yeah.
Like the Ribrianne episodes, I always infamously, speak on the Ribrianne shit, the Krillin episodes. A lot of the episodes were flawed out. They didn't really live up to their full potential. Seeing Gohan and Piccolo fight those Namekians, I had a little bit more hope for that.
Same.
Everybody was expecting Gohan to come back be badass. Gohan will never show us that again.
And then we wanted and then they set it up to where red aura, attack, blue aura, defense, and they let Frieza in 17 beat Jiren instead of Vegeta and Goku.
A lot of the tournament parts hit like they were supposed to, like Jiren versus Goku, Vegeta versus Toppo. Some of the
they
parts
had moments that hit. Is just
And in
Did
the
it
moment,
all
it was
hit.
live, but
Yeah.
when I say in hindsight, like whenever you go back and watch the season front to back, like there's on YouTube, there's like I think it's like a 4-hour long video of like the full Tournament of Power, no commercials, not no commercials, no breaks, no
filler,
intro, outro.
yeah.
It's just like a movie version of the Tournament of Power, and if you watch that front to back, it's like okay, this is cool content, but when you put it up against what Dragon Ball has brought to you before Super, or even what Dragon Ball has brought to you in the movies, even pre-Broly, it's not really touching it. And Broly set the expectations high. There are fans of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z that came into Super excited and got let down very quickly. And I seen a lot of like Dragon Ball people who hold Dragon Ball to such a high standard that whenever Super started, they didn't even want to fuck with it at all. They were just so disappointed. They talked so much shit about it that Broly kind of won them back. So they're kind of, and we're gonna get the Shintani, thank God, the character designs, and we're gonna get hopefully a new art direction because a lot of the artists that worked on Super originally are tied up in other projects. So hopefully they're taking it in a new direction animation wise. But we spoke on this episodes back. But hopefully, because we spoke on Dragon Ball being kind of a stenciled outline that's really good, but they need to do some shading. So hopefully we get better animation, new animation, art direction, and then we get a lot of shading in. Because like you said, we didn't get nothing about angels, priests. They introduced so much new shit and didn't close any of the chapters.
It's crazy because watching Promised Neverland, watching Mob Psycho, knowing what's coming with Demon Slayer, knowing what's coming with Dr. Stone, these stories are complex. It's not just fight of the week. Like in Dragon Ball has the potential to become complex, but still do the fight of the week thing. You just have to just give us a little more on some of these characters and just fulfill on some of these promises.
Even the big three, like when you look at shows like Naruto, the story is so well written. Even One Piece, the story's so open to being, it's free written, but it's still written well to the point where it's like, okay, Toriyama, we know you made Dragon Ball. We know you made Z. You the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? You the GOAT for that forever. You inspired the new wave. You inspired the big three, being Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece.
But you gotta come with something new.
They're still going, and you can't let your kid, you can't be the grandpa that tries to show up and still be relevant, and you like rusty, and you can't keep up with your kids. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You can't let your students surpass the master. You gotta come back and own it. Yeah. You owned it with Broly. People are definitely saying that's the best movie in Dragon Ball history. They're saying that it was executed correctly. You got to do that with the show because people. I mean, I was one of the people who love Super, but a lot of people that are OG Dragon Ball fans, it just didn't hold up.
No, I agree with that 100%. Let's move on to the next subject. This is also another one that people are gonna be iffy on how we feel about this, but you just gotta call a spade a spade. One Punch Man season 2 released actually as we were recording this. Luckily, we would have woke up tomorrow and been like, damn it, we couldn't talk about it, but they released it. We caught it in time. A new trailer for season 2, not just a teaser with a couple pictures, an actual trailer, and it will premiere April 9th. Krista, how do you feel about this trailer that was released?
What's homeboy's name? Garo?
It's Garo or Garu, something like that.
Garu. We got to see him for a brief second. We got a lot more animation, but we still just got the stills of Garu. We didn't get to see how
he looks.
Hopefully they're not trying to show us too much, and hopefully they're trying to keep us on edge and be like, oh, it might not be good. And hopefully they deliver on the
animation quality.
The animation. But just from what I've seen so far, a lot of the clips seem to keep up with the slow pace, like the slow pace parts of One Punch Man is seeming to keep up with some of the look. But a lot of the I've seen a couple other things.
Action.
I've seen some some episodes, not some episodes. I've seen some clips with Genos that didn't look
too hot, and we haven't seen like in that trailer. We didn't see Saitama move. We didn't see Goro move. The only person we saw really move was Genos, and that was like shaky.
Either they're trying to surprise us or they're like scared to show us the quality.
And it's crazy because after watching, we're going to get to this much later in the show, but after watching Mob Psycho, these 2 new episodes, holy shit.
Man, even the older episodes, not the old episodes, but the earlier episodes in season 2, like they took it to the next level.
But I'm just talking because this was the first one where it's like, oh, we got action.
Oh, like, we definitely got action.
This is One Punch Man level season 1 action, booted up times 10. Mm-hmm. How can One Punch Man season 2 compete with that? It's like, yo, I hope Viz knows what they're doing because like I said before with Dragon Ball Z, you're coming out in 2019, and One Punch Man, we already know how fans are feeling about it due to the hiatus, due to everything like that, due to the increased rise in fandom of My Hero Academia. One Punch Man had that grasp on everybody before My Hero took it. My Hero took it because One Punch Man went on such a long hiatus, and now it's coming back. I pray that it's as good, or not even as good as it was. I hope that it's not a bad season. I just hope I enjoy the season.
Like at this point, our hopes just aren't really up super high, so our expectations aren't really.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's crazy because the story's so good.
Yeah, and season 1 was so good, and our expectations are not at season 1 level.
Yeah,
our
they're not.
expectations are just like, let's just hope it's not bad.
Because when you gotta think, after watching that Lord Boros fight, I was like, holy shit. Like, granted, at that point, the story was good, but what made me watch some of this was how great it looked combined with this story. Like, you got to remember, at the end of the day, it's a satire, but what makes me get over the satire fact and try to take it seriously is the fact that, oh, this shit looks that good. And then in the story, you can take the story serious, just because the main character doesn't take it serious from time to time, the people around him do. So it's like, okay, I can buy into that, but if the animation quality isn't close to just keeping me grasped, then what's the difference between your fights and other anime shows fights? I might as well watch the other stuff.
And see, like a big part of why it's so good is because of the comedy, because of the satire, because of the writing, because of the story. But at the same time, if you just give us that and you don't deliver on the fights, because the thing about season 1 with the Lord Boros, the finale was there. They delivered.
Crazy.
And before the finale, even the first 3 episodes, when he was fighting the lion dude, when he had the dream when he was fighting,
there was
like
the there were 4 consecutive episodes where they were like, all right, we're gonna show you why this dude's the world's strongest. You fought that sea creature, he fought that lion, those little men, and then it was just people after people, and then they took a break to build it out.
Like the reason why like One Punch Man was so good is because it delivered on every aspect.
Yeah,
the comedy, the action, the story, the animation when action wasn't happening. It was just every single point was hit. Like when you watch Mob Psycho, they deliver on the comedy.
Yeah.
They deliver on the action. They make scenes that aren't action oriented feel intense with the way they work the animation and the way they change. They switch from animation styles so fluidly.
They make a slow episode become fast just for how they do some animation points.
Exactly. And if we get a whole slow season, then it's gonna feel like you're losing a little bit of the heart of One Punch Man.
Yep. Let's
just hope we get that action, because we know the comedy's still gonna be there, the satire is gonna still be there, as long as they're following the
manga.
Yeah, but they just got to deliver on these fights. They just got to deliver on what makes One Punch Man One Punch Man.
Yeah, exactly. And this was one of the ones that I had to stop reading the manga because I was like, yo, I just want to watch this. And that goes into just quick side thing. There's some manga out there where it's like, man, I've been reading so much where it's like, I gotta wait to watch some of the anime because it's, as much as you want to read the story, there's such cool drawing designs that's like these fights would look better animated. I don't know if you've run into that problem.
Definitely, because it's like you get the sense of what's going on, but it's like nothing's gonna beat the feeling of watching an intense anime episode. Like you read. I've been there to where I've seen manga panels and then I've seen the fight animated afterwards. I was like, that hit better.
Like, and One Piece is a prime example. It takes straight from the manga.
And One Piece is so good because the manga, the way the artist, like the way Oda draws the action, you could tell it's very fluid. And that's a lot of reason why Dragon Ball was so well done compared to Super. Because when you look at Super, Toriyama's not doing the manga. Toriyama's writing a script, and Toriyama's letting Toyotaro do the manga. With Dragon Ball Z,
he did that.
He drew, like, he gave you a foundation as far as the panels were so fluid action wise that the anime wasn't hard to look as fluid. It's hard for the people who making Super to make these fights seem realistic because they don't have Toriyama laying down the foundation. He's just saying, okay, they fight. This is what happens. And you could tell because Toyotaro takes fights in a different direction than the anime. So you could tell Toriyama's not even giving them a strict outline. They're just getting like okay, this happens, and whatever the details of the fight is up to whoever's animating or illustrating the fight. Now with other shows, the reason why the anime fights are so fluid is because they see what direction exactly to go in.
Yeah.
And they just have to deliver, like they have to deliver it. You know?
No, 100%. And my thing is, it's crazy you say that because I didn't even really realize that was going on with Super. And after seeing how well Oda makes One Piece do it, it's like I think you have to be in charge of your property like that. And if you get to the point of where you're not doing that, then like end it. Cause like there's no like, cause then you lose. Then you see what's happening with Super. You lose. People start questioning you and questioning your skills when you're legend for what you did with Z. Because that's crazy that you said that with how he did Z, and that's why Z is so good. And it's like, if you're gonna keep your name behind it, Z ended for a reason.
Exactly. Like even the iconic stances, the Goku and Vegeta stance that they ended Super with.
It didn't even look the same.
It's like you could tell Toriyama cared about that type of shit. And Oda is probably the king of that. Now, like One Piece is the number one selling manga of all time for a reason. Just because the manga is one of those the animation is good for the anime, but the manga it delivers. Like how you were saying, some manga you want to wait to see it animated, but One Piece is one of those ones you could watch and read.
Yeah, you can exactly. And my thing is, One Piece is number 3 on the top selling comics of all time. It passed up Spider-Man recently.
Damn.
Right now, it's only behind Batman and Superman. If it keeps going at its pace, in 10 years it could pass up Batman, and I think in like 30 years it'll pass up some crazy
I didn't think One Piece passed up fucking Spider-Man.
It passed up Spider-Man this past year. I want to say
in like all comics of all time.
It is number 3.
One Piece is top 3.
Top 3 of all time behind Superman and Batman. The two most iconic comic figures in all of the freaking world.
I don't know if it was Tekken or if it was like Digibro or whoever, but a long time ago I watched somebody review One Piece and compare the anime to the manga, and they were just big up in Oda for just how well he of an author he is to be able to get these panels done as fluidly as possible. Like you really, One Piece is one of those ones. Even as a child, when I had a subscription to Shonen Jump, that was one of the ones I could just dive in. It wasn't hard for me to kind of put myself into the series like I was watching an anime. Like it's easy to fall into an anime, but it's harder to kind of fall into a manga and kind of dive into the world and feel like you're there.
Low key, I enjoy reading One Piece more than I do watching it. I read it because it goes faster, and you could tell in the anime that they add stuff to
drag
it, and Oda is like, he's going. That's why I feel in the anime when we talk about the filler of One Piece, in the manga the filler goes by and it serves to develop the character, but in the anime it just slows down the episodes for me. So that's why I prefer reading One Piece to watching it. Low key, I only watch it to go. Sense. I watch it just to see some of the fights. Like I'll read, like for example, I'm on Dressrosa right now. Like I passed Punk because I read the shit. When I was on Punk Hazard, I just went back to watch. I wanted to watch Luffy versus Caesar for a little bit. I wanted to see Zoro do his thing. But other than that, in Dressrosa, I'm gonna watch him. I watched him do the Coliseum fight, and that's the only stuff I'm watching. Until then, I'm gonna keep reading, and then when he fight Doflamingo, I'm gonna watch that again. But just to get through the filler, I gotta read it. I can't, because they drag on that shit. But nonetheless, we diverted so far. Let's get back on the stuff. We're going to jump into video games for a little bit. A new report reveals that Dragon Ball Z Fighters will be getting yet another Goku to its roster in the form of Kid Goku from Dragon Ball GT. This information came from V-Jump Monday. And also, Seto Kaiba was announced as the first DLC that is coming in May. Jump Force has also released a schedule for the 2019 updates. So look, in May, there's going to be doing a paid DLC with Seto Kaiba and 2 other playable characters, as well as some costumes, and they'll be doing a new world stage for the world tournament stage, and then we won't get another DLC until August with another pre-3 playable characters, as well as Valley of the End new stage. And I'm assuming with the next DLC that'll probably come out in November, we'll get another Luffy stage, because that's the big 3. How do we feel first about Kid Goku going to Dragon Ball Z Fighters instead of some of the other people that we could have gotten, Ultra Instinct? I
gotta start off by saying, Bandai, I love y'all. I buy all y'all's figures.
I buy
a lot of y'all games. I got like the Banpresto Bandai figures. I'm a big fan. But y'all get 2 big thumbs down for me with these announcements, because first of all, let's talk about Fighters first. Who the fuck asked y'all for Kid Goku? Who there's no Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the game, and y'all would give us Kid Goku from GT?
And will he be able to go Super Saiyan 4?
Who the hell told them this was the best idea?
Yeah, I know.
And then, okay, I get it. You giving us GT. why not give us a pack with Kid Goku, Pan, Future Trunks, which again, who gives a shit for those three periods?
Because you still don't get Super Saiyan 4.
All I want from GT in any fighting game, like if you're giving us GT characters in any fighting game period, the last characters I want to see, especially announced first, Kid Goku, Pan, Trunks, unless they're all three together in one package. You can't give us one piece of a trash pie and like expect us to get excited. Like, are we waiting for Pan and Trunks to come now too? Because if so, another thumbs down.
Yeah.
You gotta give us all of that shit at once so we can be like, okay, cool, you got it out of the way. Now you got Kid Goku. Is like, why?
A GT pack that would have sold money if they would have did Super Saiyan 4 Goku, maybe Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta if you want to give another hero, but do Super
Baby
Android
Vegeta.
17. Oh, cool. Let's do it like that. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Baby Vegeta, Android 17, and Omega Shenron. If you give those 4, I guarantee you sell money.
Oh, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
You could do that one as well.
That has to be in there. But like at the end of the day,
any of those 5 characters would have made
ideal.
money.
Like that's the ideal pack. But you know they gotta make their money. Say like, hey, we're gonna give you Kid Goku. It's like, why would you give us Kid Goku and not just give us a pack of Kid Goku, Pan, Trunks to get the trash ones out the way so we know that the Super Saiyan 4 Baby Vegeta Omega Shenron pack is on the way.
Yeah.
You just gave us Kid Goku. It's like, woo. Like I wonder how much money they're gonna make on that. Like I wonder how many people are actually gonna cop this DLC. Like I'm genuinely curious because if this DLC pack doesn't sell and they take that as a red flag to be like, okay, we're not gonna give y'all no more DLC. I don't care about the game no more. It's like, no, what do y'all expect?
Y'all pick this trash choice.
Y'all dropping Kid Goku, and I've seen a bunch of people get excited for it, but I've seen an equal amount of people be like, what the fuck?
And it would have been different if it was. It's just Kid Goku. It does the same thing as normal Goku. They go Super Saiyan. It's just he's a kid. Cool. The coolest thing about him is when he goes back to adult mode in Super Saiyan 4. And in Fighters, it's not like Xenoverse where you can Super Saiyan up. No, he stays as Kid Goku for that whole fight.
That is one of the wackest parts of GT, and that's what a lot of people will agree on. Like Kid Goku is like, why? It's such a step down from how Epic Z was. Then GT starts and it's like, boom, Goku's a kid. It's like, And then Pan's fucking peon.
Yeah.
And they nerfed the shit out of Trunks, make him a fucking Gohan type nigga where he just lost all his gangster. And it's like, But right whenever Goku turned Super Saiyan 4, and then you started getting all kind of crazy. Oh, matter of fact, right whenever Baby comes in, is whenever Dragon Ball GT boots up. So you're gonna start giving us DLC with the trash pack?
Yep.
What nobody cares about in the actual anime? Like, I don't know in any Dragon Ball Z game in history where they've introduced Kid Goku where people were excited and that's one of their favorite characters.
I remember when Xenoverse brought him, they had it was a GT pack. You got Kid Goku with the Shenrons and all these other things, and like
I remember specifically not buying that pack and looking at it being like, is it worth it?
But it gave you more people than just this. Like, at least you got, I remember with that pack, you got Trunks, you got Goku, you got you got Nova Shenron, Ice Shenron, and I think you might have got Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And then the next one you got...
No, I think Super Saiyan 4 Goku is like unlockable with the wish at the end of the game.
Real.
Because I remember specifically on Xenoverse 2, I was trying my best to find a Super Saiyan 4 Goku DLC, and it was like, oh wait, he's an unlockable character at the end of the game.
Real.
You got to wish.
No, I'm talking about Xenoverse 1.
Oh, Xenoverse 1. I think maybe it was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta that was the...
They dropped in the pack, which with Young... I just know they did a full GT pack where you got to buy that shit. And that's my point. Like, Bandai, do you not know either A... y'all don't understand anime, which I don't want to say that, or B, you don't understand how the anime community is functioning in 2019.
You don't understand your fan base because like either you A, don't understand your fan base, or B, just don't give a shit and you trying to make that money.
Well, that's C. I'm gonna say that's C.
Oh, that's C? Well,
because you gotta have A is you don't understand anime and you don't understand the actual source material, because that has to be questioned with Jump Force. That has to be. So it's either that. You don't understand your fan base and what they want, or like you said, C, they don't give a fuck and they just trying to make money. It's one of those, and neither of those none of those look good.
Just the fact that they gave us GT Kid Goku by itself is just a blatant like, hey, give us some money. We itching for some money. You know what I'm saying?
And this whole Jump Force, now let's get to that. This whole Jump Force thing is a money play. Play.
When we got the leaked character roster for DLC, we're all like,
we thought that was one pack.
We're sitting there like, okay, y'all fucking up, but at least that's one pack.
No,
but y'all are gonna stretch that pack for the rest of this fucking year and give us Kaiba.
I told you.
I rock with Kaiba. Don't get it twisted. I love to play to have Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yugi's not one of my favorite characters, but that's because he's whipping around Dark Magician. I don't really like Dark Magician. He was never one of my favorite characters.
Get that shit the fuck out of here,
The
bro.
Slife of the Sky Dragon attack was cool, but I mean, Kaiba got some legendary cards and legendary shit that's probably gonna come with him, but I'm less excited that it's by itself. Like
it's with two other people.
It's a slap in the face to me because we already get this lackluster DLC pack that was announced, and it's like, okay, give it to us so we can see what's next.
Like, number one, you didn't give us the characters we wanted on initial release. Number two, you still don't give us the characters we want in DLC. And then number three, you're gonna stretch out the DLC of characters that we don't want to pay for. Mm-hmm. You're gonna stretch it out an entire year, and that's bullshit.
It may be because the character list was announced before, but looking at the update schedule right now, I'm more excited for the outfit
stages.
releases, the stage releases, the mission releases. I could care less
about
these new characters. It's like I'm ready for next year.
Like, if I could pay for the stages without paying for the characters, I will do that.
It gives me no. And this is sad to say because I'm one of those people who will argue with people. I was literally arguing with people this morning about Jump Force, and people say, you know how they got those memes where it's like nobody and the colon, and it's like Jump Force fans like Jump Force isn't that bad of a game. I was sitting there like, bruh, stop trying to go in on Jump Force. It's enjoyable, but y'all are taking away a lot of the enjoyment. It's gonna make me not want to, like, not saying it's gonna make me not want to play it because I will always play it. I still have fun.
It's just gonna make me not want to buy none of this stuff that they sell.
Exactly. Like, you're not giving me any incentive to give a shit about any of these updates. Any of, like, you're not making me want to play the game and kind of get ready for the updates. It's just like, okay, I could wait until fucking August now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Might
as well wait till August to get, because I
got the character pass too, so I'm getting these characters
no
regardless,
matter what. Yeah, same.
But it's like, damn, bro. If I would have known that before,
I would have
like,
paid for that.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
And I would have still probably got it just because I got the game a couple days early, and I definitely enjoyed those 3 days early.
Same.
But other than that, it's like, bro, what is the point of stretching this? Like, who would literally get excited for one DLC character and it be Kaiba?
Like, and especially if the next two playables, like, watch. What if the first one's Kaiba, Bisky, and one of those Bleach niggas?
Bro, if they give me Bisky next,
like Bisky, Kaiba, and one of the Bleach niggas,
I'm still hoping that Bisky was just a false rumor and motherfuckers got it confused with something else. And I know it's gonna be Bisky, but like, that is one of the most unexcited I've ever been to play as any character. And not to shit on Bisky. Because I was talking about this with my girl, and we watch Hunter x Hunter religiously, and she loves Bisky. She's like, "Why you not excited for Bisky?" I'm like, bruh, why not anybody else from Hunter x Hunter? I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's just Bisky.
It's just like
from in the DLC.
You should have told her, like, I would love to see what your girl has to say about Neferpitou, because like,
bruh,
we could give a like, we're not saying not put females in the game. There's just better there's better ones.
I would have preferred Neferpitou if anything.
Yeah, and then even with the One Piece female decision, and I get Boa Hancock after, because like when we were talking about Boa before, I hadn't watched any. I hadn't got to seeing how she took care of Luffy to get him to the time skip and all that. That's cool, but she's. Look, man, she doesn't do that much in the show.
I would still have preferred Robin.
Robin Anami, same.
And she's not one of my favorite characters to play as, bro. Boa Hancock, I've played as her. Sometimes she's fun to play as, but she's not my main pick. Like, usually I never pick her unless I'm like randomizing. Cause for Mardi Gras, I was chilling with Nick Grant's house, and we had like a Jump Force tournament before the performance.
Y'all didn't even hit me up. I would have came and give y'all that stain.
Bro, I was playing Jump Force from like 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, not 8 o'clock. It was like around like 9 o'clock in the morning when we started it. I played it from like literally 9 o'clock till like noon, like 12:30 when we had the performances.
Y'all should definitely
and like Fade, I gotta say on record, the first round I had to warm up. Fade bust me up, but after that I started taxing his ass. And then after that, I'm like, I'm on the stick for like at least an hour, and like people are in and out the room, like, let me play. And I'm like, at one point, I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna keep running I'm getting bored just picking my same favorite characters. Yeah. So I'm just like randomizing, just cause like it's new people hopping on the stick that I've never played. Yeah. And when I'm getting like Boa, that's the only time I pick Boa is the randomizing. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, shit, fucked up bag. I never switched to her character, cause it's like not. I enjoy playing as Kaguya more than Boa, and I don't even like Kaguya. Yeah. I just like her one little attack where she punched a nigga in the neck. But other than that, all three female characters, very lackluster. I feel like, matter of fact, I said Kaguya as an example, but Rukia is probably the best female character.
Rukia is the best female character in the game.
Like, hands down.
By far.
But the thing about it is, we got 3 already. None of them are that good. Like when you say Rukia is the number 1, it's like, damn, that says a lot. You know what I'm saying?
The fact that Nami, Sakura, or like it should have been the 3, because those are the 3 shows that it's Goku, it's Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and Naruto. But because Dragon Ball Z doesn't have too many females, I mean, you could have did Android 18, but assuming that you don't, okay, I'm cool with Rukia. The 3 announcements of females, if you're going to do 3 in the game, it should have been Rukia, Sakura, and either Nami or Robin. And to say that DLC, we still only get 1 female in the entire DLC for this entire year, that's a slap in the face to female anime fans. I'm sticking up for y'all.
That's a slap in the fan for any fighting game character, because anybody knows playing Street Fighter, Chun-Li is raw. Yeah. Anybody knows playing fucking Mortal Kombat. She's my favorite. Mortal Kombat has a healthy list of females, and there's no excuse saying, oh, but a lot of female characters are that powerful in anime. You got fucking like Yugi in there. The game. Yugi's not a fighter, dog. So you can't say that these girls can't really fight. And it's like, dog, have you not watched Robin? I'm still upset at the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I'm still. They play a card game. I gotta, and I'm not. I don't feel guilty saying this too, because I bought the game. Like I bought the actual game, but you know that game I'm always talking about, the Victory. Yeah. I've been replaying it because I got a DS emulator on my phone. Real. So I've been replaying it because they got an English patch. So I've been playing it in English. It's good to kind of finally understand what it's saying. Mm-hmm. But still to this day, Robin is one of my favorite characters. She has the most legendary attacks, being that she has a bunch of arms. She has this attack where she sticks one arm out, another arm comes out of her hand, another arm comes out of her hand. Like so she has hell of a range. Yeah. It's like, bro, you're missing out on so much of a fun, playable character just to give us Boa Hancock and Bisky.
And just thinking of that, you can do that with Nami with her staff.
Yeah, Nami has shit that you could use in a fight. Yep. And to be honest with you, a lot of the female characters being super tiny and skinny and not bulky and super muscular like a lot of these slower characters like Toguro, you got more agile characters. And
you can make them faster.
Exactly.
It's just, like I said, it goes back to the 3 things we said. Bandai either A, does not understand the source material that they're given, and they're just making these games by thinking like, ooh, we read like we just see who's on the covers and we just pick by that. B, they don't know their fan base and they don't understand their fan base at all. Or C, they don't give a fuck and they just want to make money.
This is kind of a conversation for another day, but you can really see how technology is really fucking a lot of shit up for quality of product. Yeah. Like when you look at back in the day, with music and how albums were being sold, hard copies, and it was just it made record labels want to put more money. It made record labels want to take their shit more serious because they're putting a lot of money into the product. Yep. With the animation, they're drawing shit panel by panel, so it's making people want to put way more trust in shit that's gonna work, like the quality. Like Dragon Ball Z wasn't trash like certain animation in Super because they didn't give a fuck about just putting it on any kind of streaming service. Like music wasn't just on Spotify and everything. It wasn't so easy to make. And the same thing with games. Back in the day, there was no such thing as DLC. There was no such, like, you had to have the final roster be ready, A1. Yeah. Now it's like we're living in an era where like we could drop the best pack of DLC next year once everybody's done complaining about Bisky.
Like the game could be like like me and you, we paid $100 to get the game early. By this time next year, they can probably already release an Ultimate Edition of Jump Force that the game has had 17 patches and has the final roster with probably everybody we want. And they'll probably charge $100 for that. But we paid $100 in advance for that shitty game, and you're telling me now you're going to charge us another $100 to get this booted up version of everything that is finally ready, or I have to pay for all these DLC and new patches? Come on, fam.
It makes me look like an idiot for defending them, because now I'm finally understanding why people are sitting there like, I'm not going to pay $100 for a fucking a half of a game that's not done. And at the end of the day, if you time skip to next year, the game may be dope as hell and finished. Yeah, it really might. But we're not paying for it next year. Like, I got my character pass. I'm probably not going to spend money on Jump Force until next year. Yeah. That's if all the DLC characters they announced already aren't the last pack. Like, next year, hopefully they give us
another pack.
Yeah, hopefully they give us another pack full of like Ace and a couple other characters from J-Stars and a couple other characters like maybe, you know, Crollo, Metarum,
those people. Yeah.
Hopefully we get that pack next year. But the point is, we shouldn't have to wait till next year. If this was PS2, you would have to put that shit in the game, or IGN or Electronic Gaming Magazine would be like, that's trash. Yeah, you are garbage right now.
Exactly.
Like if we're going off of what Jump Force gave us day one, the game wasn't as good as it is now with all the patches, with the loading being faster.
And look, we justified it, but that's because we're anime fans and we're used to shitty Bandai fighters.
We've been seeing a lot of people shit on it super hard, and to me personally, it's bad to a certain extent, but it's not that bad. It's still an enjoyable game, but you're killing a lot of the enjoyment from it.
And I know maybe that's fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Maybe that's true, shame on me. But we keep coming back to these Bandai fighters. My Heroes One Justice wasn't the best game. Like, look at that quality. But we only play those games because they have our favorite characters in it, and this is the only opportunity for us to have a video game with these characters. And that's the only company that makes these games, so they have a monopoly on it.
Exactly. And see, now one thing I gotta give to Jump Force and One Justice is, as far as fight playability, it's A1. We're not complaining at all about the actual fighting, because to me, One Justice is one of my favorite fighting games to play. If I was playing it in an arcade, it would be one of my favorite games of all time. But being that I'm playing it at my house and I have to get through this weak sauce ass story mode where it's like basically a comic, and we're going through the comic with rare, every fucking 16 missions we get a cutscene that's very lackluster.
And it's story that we already seen that looked way better in the anime.
Exactly. It's like, we get it. The game is raw as fuck, but the game is raw as fuck just for the actual playing game. And I remember games that the story mode is legendary. Every single part of the game is legendary. Like, from even Game Boy Advance, PlayStation 2, GameCube days, the story mode being trash ass animation and shit, like blocky kind of art style, they had to give you a good story. They had to give you good everything else. And it's like, now they're like, oh, look how beautiful this game looks. Look how fun the fighting is. We don't care about the roster. We don't care about the story mode. We don't care about the DLC. It's like, they're just trying to throw that bait in the water. And as soon as we bite, they're like, all right, we don't care no more. You spent the $100. We don't care no more. You're gonna get the character pass. We announced because the option for the character pass with the Ultimate was in the game before we knew what DLC characters we were going to get.
Yep.
And now, maybe after we get these 9 characters, we're going to have to buy another character pass for the actual good characters. Yep. So it's like, they kind of suckered us in.
Yeah.
Characters that are DLC should have been in the actual game.
Exactly. No, I agree with you 100%. I will say this, Bandai, I will be trying out One Piece World Seeker, because that does interest me. But although in that game has problems, people are complaining because you can only play as Luffy.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit look good as hell.
It does. It look fire. That's why I want to play. I'm gonna give it a shot.
I didn't know you could just play as Luffy. 'Cause I've been seeing certain things about it, but I haven't seen too much.
The only thing with the crew is like, you'll have to go save Chopper. So Luffy will go run around the map to go save Chopper. Like, you go meet Zoro to do this, but you can't play as Zoro. You go meet Sanji to do this, but you
kills
only
a little bit of excitement for me, dog.
It's just.
After being because One Piece World Seeking, we never really talked about it too much, but that's one of my most slept on, not slept on, but I'm like quiet about my excitement. I'm super excited just because it looks really fucking good.
It does. Like, visually, it's very pleasing, and like, Oda doesn't give his blessing off on very few things. It's not canon, but nonetheless, he allowed them to do it, and to only be able to play as Luffy, I just feel like another missed opportunity by Bandai.
Yep. It's like they give us good concepts, but they don't really execute them perfectly. Like, we expect a legendary company like Bandai that's given us. Didn't they give us all the Tenkaichis and shit?
Exactly.
They gave us such a legendary product in the past.
They're the only company that does anime games.
Y'all are like low key going down on the graph of enjoyment of your product, not as far as how we love the games. Because like I said, I love Jump Force, love One Justice, but it's a little bit lackluster to where.
Like, Budokai had everybody in Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. Everybody. Like, Budokai Tenkaichi 3, they had the GT niggas with the Z niggas. Like,
There's no reason why we should be getting full rosters on PS2 but not PS4. Like, why do I have a fucking PS4 if you're not going to give me the full roster?
I remember the Naruto games they were like, F it. I know the US fans aren't here yet. If you read the Japanese manga, this is a bonus for you. We're giving you characters in Naruto games that you haven't seen yet, and the story will go explain that. Like, that's how back when DLCs did, Bandai was giving us characters that we didn't even know. Mm-hmm. And like, that's why we hold them to such regard, because if you're telling me you can do that with GameCube games and PS2 games and PS3 games, you tell me you can't do this for your 2019 Mega Stallion Jump Force when everybody's loving anime? Mm-hmm. Come on, dog. That's just bullshit. But nonetheless, let's move on. We got some more news to get into. A new trailer was released for this newly announced anime called Fairy Gone. Fairy Gone is based upon an anime from PA Works with that plays with the idea of using fairies who reside in animals as weapons that can be summoned. With that premise, a synopsis for the series was released. Here it is. The story begins 9 years after the end of the war and centers on the protagonist Marla. Marla is a fresh recruit of Dorothea, an organization dedicated to the investigation and suppression of fairy-related crimes and incidents. Even in peacetime, the government is still unable after the war. Many criminals still have lingering wounds from the previous conflict, and there are terrorist groups bent on revenge. This is the story of fairy soldiers seeking their own justice in a chaotic post-war world. Chris, you seen the trailer now, hearing that summary? How do you feel about this new anime that's coming out, Fairygon?
As usual, gotta see the trailer. I'm gonna give it not a trailer. I gotta see the first 2 to 3 episodes, because the trailer, to me, it reminds me a lot of Full Metal Alchemist. Even the main character with the blonde hair, he kind of looks like Edward Elric a little bit to me. Not a lot. Like, I don't want people to jump down my throat and be like, that is not. But to me, it seems like a kind of, not saying a story I've seen already, but it looks like an art style I've seen. It looks like a kind of setting I've seen. And for me, I'm not one of the biggest war kind of fairy kind of anime fans, but a lot of aspects of it look interesting enough for me to give it a try to see how see where it's gonna go. I like the little wolf looking character, the character with the stale like mask kind of face. A lot of things look intriguing about it. I'll say that
it definitely does have some intriguing things. For me, I do like war anime, but fairy things, it's like, oh, that's not for me. So it's like it has half.
You gotta do it right.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a test. I'm gonna give it the 2-3 episodes just to see what's up. But like we said earlier, in the age of 2019, you gotta be coming with it, and this is an indie one, so we'll be looking to see what's coming from Fairygon. Next up, Netflix has announced it's developing an original Greek mythology-based anime called Gods and Heroes. The streaming giant has ordered 8 episodes of the show, which tells the story of a young man who's cast aside by his people, learns that he's the illegitimate son of Zeus. He alone can save both heaven and earth. To do so, he must survive the vengeful wrath of a goddess who wants him dead. In the monstrous forces of evil she aligns against him. This kind of looks like Percy Jackson but a little doper, because look, you see the bone. There's a picture that you guys can't see right now, but there's that's just basically the aesthetic of the show. How do you feel about this announcement from Netflix?
To be honest with you, even with no trailer, I'm a little bit more excited about this one, just because I love shit like this. This is like the mythology kind of thing. Seeing Japan tackle things like Greek mythology, or just seeing their take on different cultural myths and everything. It's always fun to see, and plus at the same time, it's gonna be new animation. I haven't seen something like this done in a while in any medium.
Same.
So seeing it in anime, like, I'm always interested in this kind of stuff, but I'm not gonna watch a regular cartoon version of it. I'm not gonna watch a Game of Thrones type show like about it. I'm not gonna read a book about it, but I will watch an anime about it, especially if it's executed right. And from the poster, it looks really good. And at the same time, being the son of Zeus, involving the son of Zeus and shit, it just looks that's a little bit more intriguing to me, because it seems a little bit more up my alley.
And it just shows that you can go for many seasons low key, because there's multiple gods in the Greek pantheon that he could have problems with. Like this first season could just be against Zeus' main wife, because she's like, oh, you're the illegitimate son. But what if Hades has problems with you, who's Zeus' brother? This could go on for a minute. And like you said, see, this is what intrigues me, because my thing with anime right now, and I know everybody's gonna be like, but Lyndon, you like Demon Slayer, Kimetsu, you're not reading some of these things. Yes, I am. But just because I'm reading something and enjoying it doesn't mean I still feel this way. I am sick of demons, fairies, fantasy. I'm sick of those 3 things in my anime, and this is a different type of story. Yes, it's fantasy, but it's a whole different spin on it. That's why I'm excited for Vinland as well, by telling it through the perspective of the Vikings. Just give us something new and fresh in anime, and Netflix is doing that, so I'm excited.
I gotta give Netflix their credit too. They don't do a lot of trash as far as anime. Maybe anime live action adaptations, like Death Note, infamous trash. But as far as shows like Seven Deadly Sins, as far as shows like Gargantia, those are all
Hero Mask,
really good. Hero Mask.
For me, with Netflix, it's when they go the 3D route, and some people still like those 3D stories, but I just can't get down with the animation. But for when they stay in 2D classic anime, they kill it more times than not.
Yeah, I've been seeing them like literally. As long as it's not I get excited for it, and then they execute. As long as it's not a live action or a 3D, and this one doesn't seem to be either of those. So I'm pretty excited for it, just because they haven't failed me yet. I hope they don't start now.
Yeah, I am, and we have some more Netflix stories later on that I'm really excited for.
Didn't they do Devilman Crybaby too?
We'll get to we got some, but yeah, they did, and we got some more things that they're about to do in a little bit. But next up, PlayStation has given us a little gift. The entire Devil May Cry anime series has been made available on the PlayStation Store for free for players to watch anytime they want. It's also worth mentioning that no subscription is needed in order to gain access to all 12 Devil May Cry anime episodes. All you need is a PlayStation 4 and internet connection, and you can watch the 2007 Devil May Cry anime. This is something that intrigues me because this is from when American were making the Dante's Inferno anime style, that style anime. I'm excited to check this Devil May Cry stuff out, and it's dope because the game just came out. Good way for PlayStation to keep the marketing promotion stuff going. Why not give the anime for free for fans?
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well.
I'm with that, man. I might have to peep it out because I'm a big. I've never really played Devil May Cry, beat it or anything, but the aesthetic has always appealed to me. I was one of those kids, like, I used to have the Shonen Jump subscription, but before the Shonen Jump subscription, I had the Electronic Gaming Magazine monthly subscription. I actually canceled it to get the Shonen Jump subscription.
Real.
My mom was like, you ain't about to have 1 million fucking subscriptions, you about to get one. But I was one of those people who would be like reading month to month the reviews and everything. And Devil May Cry, I've never actually played the game. I've seen some of my friends play the game, but I used to rip the pages out with the promotions for it, and then like put them on my wall because Devil May Cry, just the aesthetic was super dope. Main character super dope. I've always been curious to watch the anime, but never really had the
way to.
Yeah, the way to, or just the drive to go try to find it.
Yeah,
like
that's
to go.
it.
Like
look for it.
It may be on Kiss Anime, but I'm not about to go on Kiss Anime for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I have to, because I don't like going on Kiss Anime, period.
Anyway, yeah, no,
I'm a Funimation, Crunchyroll kind of guy. But if I do, it's not going to be for that. And if I do want to watch it, I would love to watch it on my PS4 at home.
Same. And I'm going to definitely
very
check
easily.
this out. Because like you said, I like the aesthetic of the show. Dante was always an interesting character. Anytime you have a gun mixed with a sword, for me, that's a cool little aesthetic.
Me too. I'm not going to lie. That's one of my favorite aesthetics.
Same.
Gunsman with a sword, like you're a legend.
Exactly. I'm right there with you. Next up, we have Hiroshi Tagashigi and Ryo Manawa's classic Spriggan, known as Striker in North American manga, will be receiving a new anime project. The manga ran from 1988 to 1996 in Weekly Shonen Sunday and Shonen Sunday Super, was collected into 11 volumes. A PlayStation video game titled Spriggan Lunarverse was released in 1999 following the release of a 90-minute anime film adaptation the previous year. The new project will be a full-blown TV anime as Netflix has enlisted David Production, aka Every JoJo Bizarre Adventures TV anime series. They got those guys for their adaptation. This is the synopsis. Deep in the Arat Mountains of Turkey, a secret organization known as Arkham has found what is believed the Noah's Ark. However, the U.S. Machine Corps, a rogue organization of the Pentagon, wants to take over the Ark as means of global supremacy. Only a special Arkham operative known as Spriggan stands in the way. Japanese Spriggan Yu Amine teams up with French Spriggan Jean-Jacques Mondo to combat the members of the U.S. Machine Corps led by Colonel McDougal, a genetic-enhanced boy with deadly psychic powers. However, they must act fast to stop McDougal before he uses the Ark for his own agenda. I showed you the picture of this earlier. That's with the dude that has the grapple and then the knife. It seems like they're grappling soldiers of some sort. They have ropes that come out of their hands, and they have knives of some sort. This seems interesting to me. Again, Netflix is doing it. Another Netflix anime. I'm actually excited for this, low key.
Bruh, with it 100%.
Yeah.
First of all, the picture sold. I've never watched the older series, but I'm familiar with it to a certain extent. Like, I've seen it around, but I haven't watched it. I'm not one of the big older dive in kind of guys, but from the picture that we've seen, looks legendary. From the reference that it's going off of, legendary type shit. And plus, you got us the same story that's doing JoJo, the same production company that did JoJo.
Yeah.
So you know it's gonna look great. So I'm really excited for this one. Probably more so than anything else.
Netflix is killing it, man. And still we're not done with our news from Netflix. Next up, Adult Swim is planning to expand its newly started partnership with Crunchyroll. The companies will be expanding on the ongoing distribution deal and usher in a new programming partnership to boot. In a new statement by the SVP of Adult Swim, he said this: "Our partnership with Crunchyroll will open up exciting new possibilities for both of us. This will expand Toonami's already great programming to include even more to include even more premiere and original anime. It's a great time to be an anime fan. Our mission is to grow anime global, which makes Adult Swim the perfect partner, as Toonami has been incredible influential in the growth of anime here in the United States of America. Joan Wagner, the general manager at Crunchyroll, added, "We can't wait to show our fans what we have in store for them through this new programming partnership. Expect new co-productions, expanded distribution of dubs, and generally more accessible anime." This is not the only update fans have been given on the Adult Swim deal. The two confirmed that they will co-produce an original Blade Runner anime, which we talked about before, based on the Oscar-winning Blade Runner 2049. Now Adult Swim viewers can expect to get even more animated content, with Crunchyroll boasting its catalog every step of the way. How do we feel about this news now that we're getting more updates on this Crunchyroll-Toonami partnership? It seems serious like we predicted earlier, and now it seems like Toonami, like we said, if you're partnering with Crunchyroll, you should have no problem premiering on television while this at the same time Crunchyroll is streaming. I'm assuming that that's coming soon. If not, even so, they're still helping them build content and putting it out there. How do we feel about this news?
Man, if they don't shut up and drop something, because I am hella excited, but this is one they didn't have to announce it. This is gonna be legendary no matter what they do. It's just like a tease right now, because it's like they announced something before and they're elaborating on an announcement, but it's like we still don't know what the fuck they're about to do.
Yeah.
But like, to be honest with you, I'm not only am I a big Toonami guy, but just Adult Swim in general. Like, Adult Swim has never failed me. Last night I was watching a crazy new show on Adult Swim about like a store.
I was watching that one too.
That shit is funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Adult Swim has, even to the point where Adult Swim is, they do live performance. Like, they've had Lil Baby perform.
Shit, they
Yes
had Drake
Indeed.
perform at one of their venues.
And no, like, even on their show, they have like a kind of like, you know how Zach Galifianakis had the little In Between Two Ferns.
Oh yeah,
their little live performances look like that kind of aesthetic with the setup. But just Adult Swim knows how to please their fan base. If anybody knows their fan base and what their fan base wants, it's Adult Swim. They're up to date with anything. So anything they're usually gonna do, I'm excited for it. But just for the fact that they partnered with Crunchyroll, one of the biggest anime companies,
it shows that they're trying to move forward into the streaming world.
This is two head honchos.
It's like, true, fusing. Man. I had this conversation with somebody on Twitter. They were trying to give credit to 4Kids for really making anime popular in America due to the Pokemon and some of the dubs that 4Kids had. But I said, no, it's Toonami. You have to give all credit to Toonami. Yeah, 4Kids did something with dubs, but in terms of who made anime popular in America, it was 100% Toonami.
I can't believe somebody had the audacity to say 4Kids. I'll give them one thing, right?
4Kids did Pokemon.
4Kids gave us Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! But didn't they give us the trashest One Piece dub of all time? Didn't they give us like a bunch of other kiddie shit where they like low-key censored the fuck out of Buku anime and made it soft?
Sanji used to lick lollipops instead of smoke cigarettes.
Exactly.
On the 4Kids thing.
And Sanji's not gonna make kids want to smoke cigarettes. If anything, there was already cigarettes in my life at the time that I could have, cigarette influences, should I say. Like, not saying, whatever.
Smoke cigarettes.
But I'm saying, like, the censorship, I grew up on Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! But at the same time, I really grew up on, like, Toonami had the bigger impact on my life. Pokemon had a big impact on my life because of the game that came with it.
I still feel like Toonami played... Did Cartoon Network not play Pokemon? Am I just
They did late.
Am I making that up in my brain?
Cartoon Network caught on to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon late. Pokemon was on WB. I mean, Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was on WB. I think Pokemon was on WB too, actually.
Yeah, well, then that makes sense where I was watching that. I would go from WB to Toonami.
And then One Piece was on Fox Kids with 4Kids, and then with Toonami, it was on with Funimation.
Yeah.
Because it came super late to Toonami. One Piece was already on 4Kids. I mean, I think not 4Kids, Fox Kids.
Fox Kids had the rights.
I think they had Shaman King also.
Yeah, they did.
They had a lot of good shit. Let's be honest, but like, they had a lot of iconic shit as far as Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Beyblade, Shaman King.
And One Piece.
When you look at who the poster child for anime was, it was Toonami.
It's Toonami.
4Kids didn't give us Big O.
Yeah, exactly.
4Kids didn't give us Bebop and Dragon Ball Z.
No, you're so right about that.
4Kids didn't even give us Sailor Moon.
Or Cowboy Bebop.
Even as a grown man, I know Sailor Moon was iconic for my age. I was watching the fuck out of Sailor Moon, bro.
Facts, bro. But excited for this Crunchyroll deal. Next up, we got an update on Beastars. The Beastars manga will premiere on Fuji TV's Ultra programming block in October. The anime will also stream exclusively on Netflix. Netflix now gets the Beastars. That's the one that we watched with the trailer about the wolf. The manga takes place in the world of carnivores and herbivores, where there's a lot of hope, anxiety, and love filled. Regushi, the wolf, who is a member of the Shire Teron Academy's drama club, and even though he's a wolf, he's very sensitive. The manga follows the adolescence life of Regushi and many other animals. Just wanted to give that update. Not too much more news, but that story that we talked about weeks ago will be now streamed on Netflix. So should expect that later in the year. Next up, we got a new Gintama anime is coming. The production team tweeted a video that said Gintama production committees, production on Gintama's animes, brand new production green lit probably. So since the manga isn't over yet, we think we're going to do it. We guess, well, just get ready. That's what they tweeted in their video. How do we feel about a new Gintama anime? I'm not into the Gintama universe. I know that's more so your lane of field. How do you feel about this new anime coming?
I'm with it. I never really watched Gintama in its entirety, but Gintama was one of those ones when I had first got a Crunchyroll account, like in 2017, I think it was. That was because I got a Crunchyroll account to watch specific things, and then once I got the Crunchyroll account, I watched like the newest episode of the specific thing that I was already caught up on, and I was like, okay, now I gotta wait another week for a new episode. What am I gonna do with this Crunchyroll account? And Gintama was one of the series I remember being super iconic and super highly loved by the anime fan base. So I gave it a try. At first, didn't really understand its appeal, then kind of got it shortly afterwards. Like, it didn't take long for me to be like, okay, I get it. I get why it's funny. It's kind of like a One Punch Man as far as its
satire.
Yeah, satire. It makes fun of a lot of tropes. It definitely makes specific direct references to a lot of different things.
For real.
And it's funny if you're an anime fan, because you're gonna get a lot of laughs from it. But when it takes itself serious, it takes itself serious. I haven't gotten to a lot of the series. Yeah, I haven't gotten to a lot of the good fights story like wise, but I've seen a lot of the good fights as far as, watch Mojo countdowns, full fights on YouTube. So I know Gintama's not nothing to play with. And just a new adaptation is something that I feel like Gintama's one of those ones that's never going to really end. Gintama's always going to have something come out because it's just, in Japan, it's just so loved.
So big, yeah. That's true. I'm like I said.
That's for a reason, too.
No, 100%. I got to check out Gintama. Like I said, I'm not one of those that big on it, but had to put it on the news to let you guys know. Next up, the anime No Guns Life manga will receive a television anime adaptation by Madhouse. They're the people who did Boogie Pop and others, and as well as Overlord. The issue will ship on Tuesday. Vice Media licensed the manga. Will begin releasing it this fall because you can read it right now on Manga Rock for free, but Viz Media licensed the manga and they'll be re-releasing it this fall as well as doing the anime. The company described the story as this: with no memory of his previous life or who replaced his head with a giant gun, Juzo Ino now scratches out a living in the dark streets as the city's revolver. Now, when I heard this, when I was making the notes last night, I was like, let me read this manga real quick because I have Manga Rock. Read up to volume 2. In love with the story. Super dope. It's basically a detective story and he has a big gun head and he's a cyborg essentially. Super, super dope. That's all I'm going to tell you guys about it. Just keep on the lookout. We'll keep you up to date. Krista, I showed you a little bit of the manga. Are you excited for this?
I am pretty excited for it because I just feel like if I woke up with a fucking gun as a head and didn't know why or who did it to me, I'd be fucking pissed. So I kind of want to see where the fuck this is going. I was just seeing the pictures. I was like, why does this nigga have a gun as his head? How are they gonna make that work?
And it works so well in the story.
You know how hard it's gonna be to see his emotion on his face whenever she's mad or whatever.
They do the thing that they do in Full Metal as well as My Hero and One Punch Man, where they give him a different face when he's sad or something. Like they go into it and they make his face look different. It's funny how they do it.
I feel like it's gonna be funny for all the wrong reasons. I feel like it's not supposed to be a funny show, but I feel like I'm gonna get some good laughs out of it, but as well as some good content.
No, 100%. The story from which I read so far, super, super interesting. Next up, Netflix has listed on their, now this is a rumor, on their streaming site it was listed that they're currently working on a live adaptation of One Piece. The news comes from some sketchy sites that they saw on Netflix. It was categorized under U.S. TV shows and TV action adventures. I don't know if Netflix has commented on this. How do you feel about the rumor of a One Piece live action adaptation by Netflix?
I am not excited even 1% because first of all,
I hate it.
Nobody's ever done a good anime adaptation in my eyes. Maybe Battle Angel Alita, but that's more of a manga adaptation.
Yeah.
And I've never in my fucking life seen anybody do a good anime adaptation, especially Netflix, because we all know the fucking shit parade, the shit storm fucking Death Note was. I think I spoke on that earlier.
And look, we know Cowboy Bebop's coming. I have hope for Cowboy Bebop based upon another show that Netflix did called Altered Carbon, which is a show in the vein of Cowboy Bebop, kind of made similar. So I think they could make a show like Cowboy Bebop. But to say they're going to do One Piece, the show where it's gum and dudes have fire on their feet and there's admirals that turn into lava. Bro, I'm sorry. And don't get it twisted. This is not me hating on One Piece. I actually am a 100% fan of the source material, and I love One Piece now. I do not want to see this live action. I don't.
Yeah, I love Naruto, but I want to see fucking Naruto live action. I definitely don't want to see Naruto live action.
I don't want to see Naruto or One Piece live action.
I don't want to see any of the big three. We get it, dog. The big three is big. We get it. But hey, y'all don't gotta live action it up, dog.
To make anime live action adaptations work, you have to make the ones that are more in tune with reality. You can do a gangsta live action adaptation of Netflix. That would actually probably be dope. And then add more onto the story. You could do a Black Lagoon live action. That would probably be dope. You could even probably get away with a Trigun live action, and that would be dope. But you can't do the fantastical Hunters, the Yu Yu Hakushos, the One Pieces, the Naruto. You can't
and I
do
heard
those.
Rumors of Hunter too.
Bro,
I
that
don't
would
want to
kill me.
see that, dog.
I don't know.
Definitely don't want to see that.
Don't want to see none of that.
Don't ruin Hunter for me, dog.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that would ruin some of these shows. So please, Netflix, you're doing well with your anime, but that live action adaptation stuff, if you need people to tell you what to do, holla at us, because I can give you Black Lagoon, Trigun, and tell you that those are the ones that you need to do, not One Piece and Naruto. I'm sorry. Stick to more anime that is more in tune with reality.
One of my before we go on, one of my biggest reasons why I think Cowboy Bebop is going to be good is because it's realistic, but also like Watanabe is working with Netflix. They're working with Netflix on an actual anime series, so I feel like he can oversee that to the point where he's gonna be like, "Hey, this is trash. Don't put it out." But with Dragon Ball being redone by an English American company, it failed super hard because you don't got Toriyama to be like, whoa, y'all are killing my shit. This is my baby. Y'all are murdering right now.
And I don't see Oda letting that happen. So that's why I'm like, I don't even want to believe this rumor.
Oda's so he's so into the actual
he doesn't.
And Oda got shit to say whenever shit don't go his way.
Exactly. Like, that's why people were like, Jump Force, like, why can't Sanji hit women? That's because Oda wouldn't let that shit. You're not putting One Piece characters in there if you don't follow my story. Like, I would not let my IP go to Netflix to do a live action if I'm Oda. Like,
you just got Sanji hitting a girl or doing some out of character shit.
Bruh, that'd be crazy. Next up, we got a new Fire Force trailer was released. Fire Force is slated to drop this summer. The show will go live at the beginning of July. Basically, it's the trailer from before with a couple new shots. For example, you tweeted the shot of the knight with his sword. It just basically has me super excited for Fire Force and all these new clips and just pictures. I was so close to reading the manga, but I was like, no, this is one of those ones that I want to watch. Chris, are you excited for Fire Force coming in July? Hell yeah.
Like, right before we started this, I kind of watched the trailer. I'm not gonna lie, bro. The first time I saw it, I was already like, all right. Yeah. This looked like it's gonna be good. But watching the actual trailer, like, I'm here.
And I'm here for it.
Seeing everybody else's excitement for it, not saying I'm one of the bandwagoners that's like, oh, everybody else is excited for it, so I'm excited for it. But people are posting shit. Like, people aren't just saying, oh, I can't wait, and getting me to be like, I can't wait. People are posting manga panels. People are posting like pictures and shit, and I'm sitting there like, these characters look super interesting, these designs look super interesting. The more I hear about the concept, it looks super interesting, and seeing it put to life in the trailer, like seeing the little skeleton on fire, like,
it made sense.
I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, now I understand what they mean by spontaneous combustion. You know what I'm saying? And seeing these characters look badass. This is like the Soul Eater. You know, it's Soul Eater animation at hard work.
It felt like that. Seeing this stuff made me want to go back and get into some of your class, Shaman King, Soul Eater. It's in those vibes.
So wait, you haven't watched Soul Eater or like finished it?
No.
Watch that shit. Like, whenever I tell you, like, after like seeing this little trailer, it made like a little bit of a miniature callback to me, just being so. The reason why I like Soul Eater so much is because the story was good, of course, but the animation was so
great.
fucking beautiful. It was like, it looked like kind of, you know how Mob Psycho kind of takes animation into a different direction than usual anime, and it takes a lot of different art styles in anime and makes them all blend in together to make this one beautiful product. That's what Soul Eater kind of reminded me of. And seeing this, the fluidity of how everything just moves, it feels like it's gonna be something to just fall into really easily.
Real, I'm definitely gonna have to give Soul Eater a shot, but can't wait till July for Fire Force. Now, the final story we got into news is a big. We should have tied all the Netflix stuff up and said this is all they're releasing, but Netflix gave a big statement on stuff that's coming. The other stuff seems to be coming sooner than this, but this is some of their plans. Netflix aims to be the most compelling and attractive home for anime fans, creators, and production studios. We are creating an environment where production houses can do their best work and deliver their shows on a service where we connect anime fans from over 190 countries to content that they love. This was said by John Doridian, Netflix Director of Content Japan. He said that in a statement. These are some of the animes that they're getting ready to release. They're going to do an Altered Carbon re-sleeved anime. For me, look, there's a show on Netflix that's a Netflix original called Altered Carbon. This is Cowboy Bebop, but different. I'm so excited for this anime. Out of all the ones on this list, besides this one excites me the most. The anime is a feature spinoff set in the same universe as the Netflix original live action series. The second season is in production right now. This will explore elements of the story and the mythology. If you want to get hyped for this, Chris, just go watch the trailer of Altered Carbon on Netflix, the live action, because this shit is insane. Next up, we got Dragon's Dogma, based on a world famous RPG set in an open world. Dragon's Dogma from Capcom will be brought to life as a Netflix original anime series. The story follows a man's journey seeking revenge on a dragon who stole his heart. On his way, the man brought back to life as Horizon, an action adventure about a man challenged by demons who represent the deadly definitions of humans. That's Dragon's Dogma. So next up, we talked about Spriggan. They're doing another Ghost in the Shell series, which we talked about a little bit before. We have a little bit more data on it. The sequel of the much anticipated Ghost in the Shell SAC series has come back as a full 3D CG animated series. Oh, that doesn't sell me. We'll be collaborating once again, following Ultraman. The people who made Ultraman will be collaborating once again to make this. This is the first Ghost in the Shell series brought to fans with a double director. Next up, we got Vampire in the Garden, original series brought by Wit Studio, about Momo and Fine from different backgrounds who meet by chance. A story about an unlikely friendship between a human and a vampire race that intertwines with the power of music. And the final one is Super Crooks, a story by Mark Millar, comic creator who made Kick-Ass and Wanted. The crime and thrills meet supernatural power in this Mark Millar title. Krista, out of all these that I mentioned, which ones excite you the most?
Spriggan, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm already said I'm excited for that one. But Ghost in the Shell, and you kind of said this in the Ghost in the Shell, but Ultraman too, to be honest. Ultraman and Ghost in the Shell. Like, Ultraman is probably the one I'm the most excited for. But Ghost in the Shell too.
I'm excited for, like I said, the Altered Carbon, the Ghost in the Shell, that 3D CG. It has to look good for me to buy it. Mm-hmm. Super Crooks, we don't have much about it, but I'm excited for it for the reason that it's made by comic creator Mark Millar, who made Kick-Ass, if you've seen the movies, or Wanted, the one where they move the bullets. So if it's crime meets supernatural, I'm excited. I think he's gonna do a good job in that world.
I like Kick-Ass.
If you like Kick-Ass and Wanted, you will definitely probably like Super
Wanted.
Crooks.
What was Wanted?
Wanted was the movie with Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy, where he would move the bullets. The bullets would curve.
Yeah,
he made that.
I forgot about that one. I forgot completely.
So that's him. But that's all we got for the news today, ladies and gentlemen. We had a lot to get through. Now let's get into discussion. And today's discussion, instead of taking your questions, I saw things out in the internet that I felt needed discussed. There was a big thing over the weekend. This guy, at Black Luffy, he tweeted over the weekend some controversial statements about Naruto that had the community lit. So this is what he stated. He stated that Sakura is the true underdog of the series. His reason: she has no bloodline, she isn't some demigod reincarnate, she has no magic eyes, and she's still the third strongest shinobi in the Leaf Village and is strictly from her hard work, and Sakura is undoubtedly Hokage level. He had some other things to say in there as well. How do we feel about this Sakura tweet, Krissa?
First of all,
do we feel Sakura is the third strongest shinobi in the Leaf Village? And he's basically said this because he thinks that everybody who says she's a useless character should be wrong.
That is a joke.
Yeah.
Now, see, the thing about it is, we give Sakura a lot of shit about being a useless character. A lot of people think it derives from misogyny. A lot of people think it derives from her being like a trash, or not a trash character, but like a useless character up until Shippuden.
Nobody ever said Hinata was useless. That's all I gotta say.
Nobody ever said. Okay, people shit on Sakura. People shit on Tenten,
yeah, but
for good reason, dog.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing. We're not shitting on Ino, even though Ino is damn near like fucking useless.
Yeah,
we're shitting on Sakura.
But she got the Ino Shikacho though. That's
exactly. She's not even useless.
Yeah.
But we're sitting there. We're shitting on Sakura and Tenten because what has Tenten done ever? I'll wait. Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing relevant besides waste the beginning of the Infinite Tsukuyomi filler.
And look, Sakura, and everybody was like, oh yeah, she was the one who loved Naruto and showed Naruto like how to become a true hero. Bullshit, bro. She was making that's cap.
It's cap.
He had some of that in his reasoning. That's why I didn't want to even talk about that. But like, yo, that like you don't even know the series if that's the case, my G. Also, the third strongest shinobi in the Leaf Village. Have you not met Kakashi Hatake? Like, he is definitely stronger than Sakura.
Like, Sakura,
Rock Lee's stronger than Sakura.
And Sakura is one of the most overrated characters in Naruto. And I say that knowing that she's one of the most hated characters. Just saying that the few people that do show Sakura, and not to hate on her super hard, because they got people who do like her.
But she's overrated just like Tsunade is.
I'm not trying to shit on people who like Sakura, but I'm trying to shit on people who will defend Sakura when we call Sakura useless and trash, because she is. Like, she's not even a good character.
Yeah.
I remember this whole, like, Sakura has done nothing, and I say the same thing about Sasuke, but Sasuke's had a lot to offer. Sasuke wasn't useless. Sasuke was key to the plot.
Yeah.
But the thing about Sakura that makes her useless and makes her trash is because every time she's literally on the screen, she's being annoying. I remember there was a point in time that Naruto was chasing the shit out of Sasuke, and I was even looking at Naruto like, stop chasing that bitch. She ain't shit. Then there was one point in time where she was like, damn.
There was only one time on screen where I felt Sakura was like strong, when it was the war and Team 7 was reunited on the screen, and I was like, all right, dope. And even right after that, she messed up.
You're right. Right after that, she fucked up. But see, the thing about it is, I think pretty much everybody in the anime community is in agreement, even the people who shit on Sakura, that, okay, maybe she wasn't completely useless because of the war, but if that's the only thing you have, I like when
she's not Hokage level just because she has Tsunade's.
I was gonna touch that too. Just because you fucking Tsunade's apprentice, doesn't mean you're fucking Hokage level. Tsunade was Hokage level.
Like, do people not realize how strong KCM Naruto is? Like QB Chakra Mode Naruto is so strong, and Sasuke has his own Susanoo forms. You got to think Kakashi. If we're talking about at their strongest, Kakashi had 2 Sharingan and had a blue Susanoo himself. Sakura cannot touch that. She can't touch that.
Kakashi
and
Sasuke.
I don't think she can beat Rock Lee, because Rock Lee can open the 8th gate.
No, Rock Lee's smashing Sakura.
And we saw what Guy did when he opened the 8th gates against Madara. So I'm sorry, Sakura at best, she's the 5th strongest shinobi in the Leaf Village.
Hokage level my ass. Hokage level, nothing. Anything other than an annoyance for most of the series.
I think Hinata's stronger than Sakura. I'd much rather be Byakugan.
Even if she's not stronger than her, she's definitely a better character. She's definitely not even saying just personally, just like objectively. She's just better of a character. She's more key to the series.
Like, Sakura complained the entire series, and then at some point she was like, no, I gotta fight for myself. And as soon as she got power, she started complaining again for Sasuke.
I remember whenever she was trying to, like, I could say more things that Sakura's done to piss me off than I could say more times than she's made me happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The one time I can think she made me happy was when Team 7 got back together and we saw the Slug, the Toad, and the Snake at the war, and they were all standing, and Naruto's like, Team 7 was reunited, and then right after that, Sakura
and
does
that had to happen. If that didn't have to happen, then she would have probably still been running around being useless.
Same.
Like, this is my thing, right? I have to get this off because people like to blame the Sakura hate on a lot of things. Because
it's not misogyny, at least with us.
Especially misogyny, because I'm looking at it like, okay, if it's misogyny, then why do I give Gohan so much hell?
Yeah.
I give Gohan hell,
You
bro,
do.
because I give Gohan hell because of what he is supposed to be and what he represents. Sakura, what is she supposed to be and represent?
Yep.
Not what she is. She's a part of the big three.
She's supposed to be the part of the new legendary Sannin.
Yeah, she's like part 2 to the legendary Sannin, and you're not living up to that.
No.
Even Sasuke, who I admit is one of the characters that's pissed me off the most in anime.
He definitely surpassed
I respect him a
Orochimaru.
lot. I respect a lot of shit. Like, there's many points. Like, I bitch about Sasuke a lot, but I could weigh Sasuke's positive against his negatives,
yeah.
and actually have way more positives, or at least an even amount to where I can argue both sides. Sakura, there is no way I can argue this side.
No.
Sakura has done one thing, and everything else. Like, I remember whenever Sasuke was like, man, I'm gonna get with Naruto. Naruto, I love you. Let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. And Naruto even was sitting there like, bitch, you are tripping. Like, if you don't get the fuck out my, this is not even real. This is not even convincible. When I'm sitting there watching Naruto, who has been on Sakura's dick since day one, look at her like, this is fake.
Yeah.
Like, you just a fake ass bitch. Like, you went from being on Sasuke's dick. Sasuke had to chop you in the fucking neck and be like, get on. You keep chasing me.
And then even after she got stronger, when she met him again, she tried to punch him for a little bit, but she still fell for
Sasuke
shit.
almost murked her ass.
Yeah, exactly.
She's never done anything reputable to me besides the war.
Me neither. I'm right there with you. So,
And birth Sarada, that's like probably one of the
and even that, I remember that was
questioned.
I remember that was questioned for at first because we thought that
There are people who still think
that Kyrie's still Sarada's
Yeah.
like mother, and that Sakura's just like her. Like they might have took Sakura's eggs and did like that in vitro stuff. But nonetheless, next up we got Ranker did the most. This is Ranker online. They rank a bunch of stuff, and they just did the most overrated anime list. And I want to see if we agreed. So at number 1 they got Fairy Tail, and number 2 they got Naruto. Number 3 they got Bleach. Number 4 they got DBZ. Number 5 they got One Piece. Number 6 they got The Melancholy of Haru Suzumiya. At number 7 they got Sword Art Online. At number 8 they got Pokemon. How do we? I'm gonna let you go first because I disagree with this list.
I definitely disagree with a lot of things on this list. Number one thing I disagree with on this list, Naruto being the second most overrated anime.
Yeah.
You saw how passionate I just got talking about fucking Sakura, one of the worst characters in the fucking show. That's not a character I even feel strongly about.
Imagine the characters that we do. Yeah, exactly. Naruto to me is as much as it has its haters, it's properly ranked among the greats. Like, it really is one of the best shonen of all time, and I think it's properly. I don't think it's overrated.
Naruto shouldn't even be on this list.
Yeah.
Like, I made my list, and my list is more of a top 5 because the bottom 3 are not overrated, period, in my list. And Naruto makes the bottom 3, like, I don't even rank them in any order because none of them are overrated to me. Like, Naruto has one flaw. Filler.
Yeah.
That's the only flaw in Naruto.
And the
to
only
me.
one you can say, I'll give you another one that I just hear people say, and I kind of agree with it to a certain extent, the ending with Kaguya.
Okay, yeah, the ending, but still,
even
how
but
many
I agree.
episodes is into the ending?
Yeah,
like, you know how much and this is me personally how I rate things. I rate things on my level of enjoyment. I listen to a lot of Anthony Fantano music reviews, and I like the way he reviews things because he reviews them not really objectively to where everyone else thinks. He gives you his opinion, but he rates it on how well he enjoys it. So and this is me kind of diverting a little bit, but I've seen him like give Kendrick Lamar to Pimp a Butterfly or whatever album he gave a 7. Then he gave Lil Pump's album a 7. He wasn't comparing the two as shows, but he was comparing them on a level of enjoyment, 1 to 10, how much he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Naruto, watching it front to back, it was such a ride that it was 10 for me the whole way through of enjoyment. Even when I'm getting mad at Sakura, I'm loving other aspects of the show. The show to me was written so well that by the time I got to the end of the show, everything before felt worth it.
Yeah.
And as I was watching it, it didn't feel like it wasn't worth it.
No, I
it
feel
got
that.
me to where it was one of the, like, when I got to the war, the Great Ninja War.
It felt all deserving. And at one point at the Great Ninja War, you think back, damn, did the mangaka know about this when he wrote chapter 1 of Naruto? That's how good Naruto was.
It made me think it made me think that he had this whole thing
mapped out.
every single thing. Like, it was so well written to where, like, I can't, like, if you look into the fandoms, right? You look into the fandom of Naruto, just because it has a big fan base doesn't mean it's overrated.
Yeah.
It has a big fan base for a reason, and it has people that I remember being in middle school, right? Two of my best friends, Chris and AJ, shout out to them.
Shout out.
I used to not be that big into Naruto. I didn't get into Naruto until I was a grown-ass man. Maybe 2013, 14, I decided to watch Naruto in its entirety.
I watched that shit from
I think it was 2014.
when it was airing as a kid, and then when they stopped airing it, I had to catch up with the Japanese kids.
Now, see, I think I said this last time on the last episode when we were talking about, I forget what we were talking about, but I remember I said it took me forever to start Naruto because as a child, I read it in Shonen Jump up until the Chunin exam arc. And then I was like, okay, cool. I kind of dropped out of the whole manga reading for a few years. And when I hopped back into anime, Naruto was one of the last things I watched because to me, I thought it was overrated. And so I could kind of see the sentiment of someone saying Naruto is overrated from a perspective of never watching it.
Yeah.
But then again, you're in no fucking position to say
that
that's
if you've never seen it. Yeah.
But I remember my dog Chris and AJ, I used to go chill at my dog AJ's house. He lived right next door to me and we would just link up. It was a squad house. It was me and a few of my friends. But they were so into Naruto that I remember watching my dog AJ like practice hand signs.
Bro,
he was literally doing the hand signs in my face, trying to master them like he could really knew ninjutsu.
Me and Carl would go to Reds. Me, Carl, shout out to my friend Mark and Mark's brother Anthony. We went to Reds and played dodgeball, and we would wear the Naruto headbands and do like jutsu signs before we would throw the ball, like Rasengan. But like we would do that shit.
That's
like,
how well
100%.
the world was built. Naruto literally had kids run around doing the Naruto run.
I can still do the Chidori sign. Like if I have two hands, I can still do it.
That's a testament to how deep it pulls you into its world.
Yeah.
I remember, and this is another thing about my dogs from middle school. This was around the time internet was first getting hot and forums were first getting hot. They had Naruto forums where people would literally go on the forums and pretend to be ninjas and have these whole forums as their usernames would be their characters. They would fight and do all these crazy things to where like they had a whole world on a forum of these people like arguing with each other. And I was looking at it and I was like, these niggas they lost their fucking mind. I'm sitting there like, are y'all really into anime? And this is me at the time being super into, and me having a subscription to Shonen Jump, me being in middle school, being into Dragon Ball, being into Yu Yu Hakusho, sitting there looking at them like, y'all wigging. And I'm sitting there like, I'm never going to watch Naruto because to me it just seems whack. It doesn't seem y'all are too into this. But once I gave it a try, even going into it with a bias, I was turned 100% around.
That's how it was for me with One Piece.
It was 100%. There's no way. And I'm sorry, I spent a little too much time talking about Naruto, but overrated.
Yeah. To me, there's two of these that should not be on this list. Naruto and One Piece.
Those are two disrespectful statements.
Yeah, Naruto and One Piece should not be on this list.
One Piece is, again, in my bottom three that... Why would you even say they're overrated? Just because a lot of people like them? No, maybe over love. Maybe people love Naruto and One Piece a little too hard. I get that.
as
maybe
well.
People ride for them a little too much.
But One Piece is incredible at the world it built. So is Naruto. Those to me are two of the best shonen of all time. You can't put them on this list. What's your list of overrated?
All right, my list, and I gotta say the last one, the Suzumiya, the Himelakali of Haruhi Suzumiya. I put that in my bottom three too. As far as a lot of people, whenever I said my bottom three are things that I think aren't overrated at all. I feel like a lot of people were gonna think I was gonna say Dragon Ball. No, I understand.
Yeah. No, I got it in there as well.
Suzumiya, I put that in my bottom just because who the fuck is overrating it? I know people who don't even know what that series is.
I was about to say I don't know what it is.
I know what it is, but I don't know what it is to the extent where I've watched it.
I didn't know what it was until I made these notes after I looked it up. Like I'd never like seen that, heard of that. Like
I don't know if you know who Dashi XP is. But he's like a gamer on YouTube. He does all the funny videos. But I remember when I first got onto him, he had a sub channel on YouTube called Nah-Sun, and he would just like do parodies and voiceovers, like quick 5-minute abridged versions.
Is this a comedy anime?
It's a slice of life.
That's
to
why.
me, it's like slice of life.
That's why.
But I watched him do a parody of it, and that was my first time being introduced to the series, and I was like, this is funny, because he parodied it, and it was hilarious. He did like all kind of other parodies. But when I went to watch the regular show, I was like, boo. But again, after I watched it, I've never heard anybody even speak the name of this.
That show.
Whenever I saw this on the list, I had to go back and look it up what it was. I was like, oh, this is what it is. But overrated? Who the fuck is overrating this?
Who's rating it first off?
Yeah, like nobody even watching it to rate it.
100. What you got?
All right, so my list, right? Number one most overrated of all time, Sword Art Online.
All right, I can rock.
Sword Art Online.
I'm not going to even hate on that because straight up, I'm not even the biggest Sword Art Online. I think the part up until the fairies was immaculate of that first season. I like the first season up until the fairies.
I heard the first season was the best season.
I'm not gonna lie. I like the first season up until this fairies, and then the fairy stuff. It just kept getting worse and worse. I definitely think the series is overrated. It's on my list as well.
I get why it has a big fan base and following, because coming from being a kid, I used to watch Dot Hack Sign, and it has the same kind of concept. fucking kid gets trapped in this game world. But as far as the big fan base, I remember there was a point in 2015, 16 where niggas was just on Sword Art Online super hard. I gave it a try. I was like, I was like, it's cool, but I'm like, it's not as good as y'all niggas acting like it is. So I'm gonna say that's my number one because my dog Nick, one of my friends, not Nick Graham, but one of my other dogs, Nick, I literally walked in his house the other day and I saw a Sword Art Online fucking poster in his living room. Not even in your room in the fucking collection of all the other shit. This in this nigga's living room,
like
son.
This, he want people to know he
don't even got Dragon Ball posters in his living room. He got like the Dragon Ball pop figures, but you got that Sword Art Online like proud, like in a place where
people
motherfuckers gotta see it. It's not even in a place in the living room where you miss it or you seen something else first. It's the first thing you see. So and I had to check him. I'm like, so why the fuck you got this Sword Art Online poster in your shit? Like this is fucking a Jesus fucking cross in church. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, people hold that series to such a high standard. That's my number one.
No, I feel you on that.
Number two, Bleach, because I don't understand a lot of the appeal.
I gave it a try. I've given it a try at least 5 times now.
Same. I've given it multiple tries.
That's my number one, by the way.
I've seen somebody on Twitter, and in the era of hot takes and unpopular opinions, that the unpopular opinion's been super memed out on Twitter. But I've seen so many stupid things get said about Bleach when, you know, everybody in the big three are going to try to compare Naruto to Dragon Ball. I've seen people say, oh man, Ichigo got the most drip out of all fucking the big three. When you compare Ichigo to Naruto, Luffy, Goku, he easily has the best character design.
Just because his aesthetic looks good, you don't back that shit. Like
I'm sitting there like, what?
I'll give Bleach this. They do have a great character aesthetic.
That's one of the only things that gets me to want to watch Bleach.
Every time I see one of them characters or see a fight, I'm like, damn, I want to get into it. But every time I try to get into it, I'm like, nah, dog, this shit is just not for me.
For them to say that fucking Ichigo has the best character, and like you said, the aesthetic, I understand that.
Yeah, I get the
aesthetic pulls you in. It's very different.
That's how it pulled me in.
But character design, you saying Ichigo is shitting on Luffy, Naruto, and Goku?
I don't know about that.
What? Are you fucking serious?
If you're talking young Naruto, I'll give it to him. But if you're talking Naruto Shippuden, when they put that black and orange on that nigga,
he had the drip, son.
Yeah, he was drip god.
Then Goku has like 5 transformations, easily all better than his main.
Super Saiyan 4 Goku is drip.
Top tier. Ichigo, he has that transformation, and that's pretty dope.
And Gear Segundo for me, when Luffy put his fist on the ground and go Gear Segundo, drip.
And then honestly, if Bleach,
but Luffy might be the one that has the least amount of drip out of all of them.
Yeah,
but I will say right now in the new manga, he's in Wano and he finally got muscles because he had to work out.
And so his outfit be switching from arc to arc.
That's what I'll say. The way they change their clothes, Luffy has great swag, but in terms of how he looks aesthetically, I think the new muscle Luffy got a lot of drip.
Oh yeah, for sure. But another thing I gotta touch before I go into the next one with Bleach. If it was as good as the Bleach stands would think it was, or if
it wouldn't have got canceled.
It wouldn't have got canceled.
Yeah,
it would still be going on right now.
Facts.
It would have been big. I remember like a few months ago, Shonen Jump did that weekly Shonen Jump in Japan. They did that cover with all the Shonen characters, and Bleach, which is known to be a part of the big three, was all the way in the top corner, super tiny. Like they
not giving no love because
no love. They had Luffy, Goku,
that
even
convention,
Deku big.
That convention that we talked about, everybody was like, "Where's the Bleach announcement? Where's the Bleach announcement?" Nigga, you're not getting no announcement because nobody want to watch that shit.
Nobody cares about Bleach that much.
Number one for me is Bleach, and I've Sword Art Online number 2.
Now see that we're pretty good with we're the same on our top 2. But Bleach, bruh. I've never, with Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, Sword Art Online, I've never seen anyone burn merchandise and manga copies. There was a certain time in, I remember Forever World covered the news of motherfuckers like literally on Twitter, thousands of people burning their whole collection of Bleach manga because they were so sick of the decision made in the manga or the way it was wrapped up. I've never seen that done anywhere. So you overrated motherfuckers. Don't even want to watch Bleach. Like me and you, there's certain people out there that's like giving it a try. There's certain people that's not even gonna give it that try.
Yeah, I tried. I gave it 5 times. I don't even do that for. I didn't even do that for like if Black Clover didn't hit on that last time, it wasn't getting another try.
Exactly.
What you got at number 3?
My number 3 is Fairy Tail.
Oh, my number 3 is Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, now see, my number 4 is Dragon Ball Z.
I don't have Fairy Tail on the list. I don't think Fairy Tail.
Now see, you put Fairy Tail off of the overrated list?
I just don't think it's high enough to be considered overrated. And I know it has a big fan base.
I see it.
I know it has a big fan base and it came back and a lot of people love it. And I'm one of those people that love Fairy Tail, but I don't think Fairy Tail is good enough to be considered overrated. I think Fairy Tail is rated like if you want to say it's not one of the better shonen, that's fine. Like I'm cool with that rating. Like I don't put it might be in terms of shonen, it might be 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't say it's over. I just don't think it's rated properly in my opinion.
Now, see, I feel like it's overrated just for the certain, just for the fact that I've seen people,
put it God tier.
Yeah, put it God tier.
Okay,
then
I get that.
I've seen people defend it to the point where they don't see Fairy Tail get a lot of love. Like they don't see Fairy Tail get enough love, and they shit on people for like, y'all gonna champion this, y'all gonna watch Dragon Ball, y'all watch this. It's like, first of all, Fairy Tail is good. Nobody's saying Fairy Tail is trash. There are a certain amount of people that say Fairy Tail isn't good, but me being like a Fairy Tail fan, like I got a Fairy Tail wallet in my pocket right now. I got it like literally, it's on my wallet. Like motherfuckers be seeing my wallet, like, oh, you rock with Fairy Tail? I'm like, don't get it twisted. I'm not a stan, but I do rock with Fairy Tail. It's one of my favorites, but I don't talk about it when I talk about Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, because it doesn't take itself as serious. To me, it reminds me of a Pokemon, Digimon, a show that's really good, really action-packed, really fun, really comedic, but it's really just lighthearted. It takes the most lighthearted aspects of shonen and wraps them up in a cute little bun where I could watch it and not really have anything crazy to compare it to.
I get that. There's certain points of it where I wish it would go darker, and then there's points where it does go dark but not dark enough. It is one of the lightest ones of the shonen, and my favorite character isn't even the main character. My favorite character is Urza Scarlet in the show.
Of course.
For those who are coming at us saying, "Oh, we was being misogynist for our soccer takes," my favorite character in Fairy Tail is the female, and she's the best female in
Urza
shonen.
Scarlet is probably the best character in that show. Period.
By far, yeah.
Best
100%.
Backstory, best action, best
she's
power.
better than Natsu and Gray and Gajeel.
For sure.
By far.
For sure.
But yeah, I just don't. Like I said, I don't know. I get why you put it there because of how people say it's God tier, but in my opinion of where Fairy Tail ranks, I don't rank it high in the first place. So like with me, I agree with you. It's lighthearted, and I never looked at it as one of those God tiers. So that's why I couldn't put it in the overrated, because I know there's some that people consider God tier that maybe shouldn't be up there.
Definitely. And to be honest with you, Fairy Tail is like one of I don't want to say one of the best anime of all time, but it's one of those that is like more widely loved.
Just say most well-known, most notable.
Yeah, most notable for sure. And people love Fairy Tail. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Fairy Tail haters that just hate Fairy Tail, but this is the only reason why I say it's overrated. The only reason why people hate Fairy Tail is because so many people love Fairy Tail so hard. A lot of people like me love Fairy Tail, not in the closet, but I love Fairy Tail very on the cool, because it's not something that
I'm not bragging about my Fairy Tail love. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Like
Mine is just like, if somebody's like, yo, do you like Fairy Tail? I wouldn't lie to them and be like no. But if somebody's like, if somebody on Twitter's like, what's your favorite anime? Fairy Tail's not getting the 5
They're not
that
in my
I
top
mentioned.
10, bro.
Yeah, no.
And see,
like
I said, I got a Fairy Tail wallet. I own more hard copy manga copies of or volumes of Fairy Tail than I do of some other anime that are some manga that's some of my favorite series. Like I own more Fairy Tail hard copies than I do One Piece.
See, that's crazy, but that's
facts.
The aesthetic of Fairy Tail pulls you in as well. That's another
and just
one.
the feel. It's a feel good anime. It makes me feel really good.
It's not bad,
but just like Pokemon, another one on this list, which is my 5th, right before I get to the ones that aren't, you know, just like Pokemon, it's one of those series that it's amazing. One of the best one of the best series anime has to offer, but I'm not putting it up there with the Dragon Balls and the Narutos and the Cowboy Bebops because it's not to be taken that serious.
No, I'm with you on that. My number 3 is Dragon Ball Z. Now look, Dragon Ball Z, I'm talking about the Dragon Ball franchise.
In general.
The Dragon Ball franchise at first hit like nobody's business. We cannot take away that it got us in the anime when no other ones would. And it has GOAT status for what it did. But in terms of actually looking at the story without nostalgic eyes and objectivity as a 24-year-old man, it has no character progression. 0. It has no promise on the lore that it developed. It's Dragon Ball, the OG series when Goku was a kid does, but the moment you get to Z, it changes to Fighter of the Week. And to me, in terms of fights, God tier, but in terms of story, it's lackluster, and I think it's overrated. I think the story of Dragon Ball is overrated. I really do.
I put my bottom 3 being One Piece, Naruto, and the other show with the chick for a reason, because Naruto, One Piece, you gonna say those two are fucking overrated? Disrespectful? You tripping. Dragon Ball Z, as one of the biggest Dragon Ball Z fans, I understand.
And it's not, and I don't hate Dragon Ball. Like, you know I love it, but like,
saying it's overrated doesn't mean it's not amazing. Doesn't mean it's not our favorite. It just means that, hey, we understand the fact that Dragon Ball Z is the #1 anime for a lot of people. For some people, Dragon Ball Z is the only anime they will watch. It's the only anime they can stomach. Some people don't even watch Cowboy Bebop and they'll watch Dragon Ball Z, and that is why it's overrated.
And some people will be like, Dragon Ball Z is the GOAT tier over everything, and it's like, have you watched some other stuff? That's all I want to know. Have you watched some other stuff?
You gotta watch. I was one of those people who were sitting there like arguing with people on Twitter when people just shit on Dragon Ball and compare it to One Piece and everything. Because I'm one of those people, like, you don't have to shit on something to make anything else look good.
No, I would you on
and
that.
I'm one of those people to this day that I still look at shows like One Piece, Naruto, and Dragon Ball, and I can't say anyone is better than the other. What I can say is Naruto's storyline is better than Dragon Ball Z's storyline. What I can say is Naruto's characters are better developed than Dragon Ball, but I will never say either one of those shows are better than Dragon Ball.
I'm with you on that.
Dragon Ball has its things that it's really good for, but at the same time, Dragon Ball has a lot of flaws. And as one of the biggest Dragon Ball fans, you have to understand.
Yeah, if you can't call it out, then like you're just lying to yourself.
It's great, but you gotta know why it's great, and you gotta understand its flaws to love it. Loving something is loving it for its flaws and its positives, you know?
I'm with you 100%. What's your number 4?
My number 4, my last one.
Is it Dragon Ball
Z?
Oh
yeah, Dragon Ball. It was like, mine goes Sword Art Online, Bleach, Fairy Tail, Dragon Ball Z, and Pokemon. Just because Pokemon, it's last on my list. It honestly should have been in the bottom 4 instead of bottom 3, because who the fuck is overrating the Pokemon anime?
It's not, to me, I don't rate it. My 1, like we said, Bleach. My 2, Sword Art Online. My 3, Dragon Ball Z. My 4 is Gundam.
Gundam?
Yeah.
You put Gundam in there. Was Gundam even on the list?
No, Gundam
I'm about to say
wasn't on the list.
You think Gundam's overrated?
I think it is. I think Gundam Wing, classic. But when you look at the Gundam franchise, they have a bunch of misses in there. And I think people always go back to Wing, and you can go back to Wing, but when you have things, when Wing and Iron Blooded Orphans are 2 of your best series, and you have other things mixed out with all movies and everything, I just think the franchise isn't the god tier that people want to give it.
Yeah, that's true. To me, the only reason why Gundam is where it is because it introduced a lot of people into the mecha genre.
No, 100%.
And for good reason. It was one of the first mecha we were introduced to in Toonami. But if we would have been introduced to something like Gurren Lagann or any other kind of mecha that's high up there before Gundam Wing specifically, would we have held it to the same standard?
I don't know.
Is nostalgia the reason why we love Gundam?
And that's another reason why I put the nostalgia. I think that affects it as well.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5 is not any other ones on this list. My number 5 is actually the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blades Work universe. Now, if you know what that is, there's Fate Stay Night, there's Fate Zero, there's Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. My favorite one is Fate Zero. Mm-hmm. That is the prequel. I think that is the best that show has ever given us, and I love that season. I think that is an amazing season, and I probably rated an 8 out of 10. I love that season. But in terms of how they executed everything else, it was a flop, and I think it's overrated, and I think it's an anime that should have stopped or pick a new team, because the team that made Fate Zero should be discussed at how everything else was created, because I just don't think it executed to the level of Fate Zero, and I think everybody who hypes it up is clowning, because I think after Fate Zero, you see the drop-off in it.
Mm-hmm. So the game of Fate Zero is way more I don't want to say loved than than the anime, but the anime is just like because of that. But man, if we throwing in ones that's not, like, I was just going ones on the list. I don't got too many, but I gotta say Attack on Titan. If we're putting something that's not on the list, Attack on Titan is one of my top overrated, because people act like Attack on Titan. When One Punch Man came along and changed the game for, certain anime,
people want to put Attack on Titan in there too.
Yeah, like Attack on Titan is not One Punch Man status to me.
And look, I will say this: when Attack on Titan had the culture, it had the culture, but when you have that season drop, you lose steam and it becomes not important anymore. Mm-hmm. It does. So I'm not going to disagree with that. But that's us talking about what we think's overrated. What do you think's overrated? Get at us on Twitter, at ChrisSJE, or follow me at Berlin. Get at us on Twitter if you want to talk about us. If you think we're wrong about Sakura, if you think we're wrong about what we think's overrated, and if you want to send in some fan questions, go to www.broswhothink.com. On the homepage, scroll all the way down, put your first, last name in the subject line, put #anime talk question, and we will answer it. Now, let's get into the final portion of the show, the review portion. We're going to keep this short and sweet, even though we have buku great stuff that happened in both of these episodes. Where you want to start? Mob Psycho or Promise Neverland?
Mob Psycho.
All right, let's start off Mob Psycho episode 10. The boss of Claw Suzuki Toshiro barricades himself in Seasoning City Culture Tower after declaring war on the world. After instantly getting rid of the police barriers, they make their next move. Meanwhile, back at the hideout, Regan and the others make their move as well. The former members of the 7th Division in the Awakening Lab head to the tower under Regan's instruction, while Sho and Ritsu also make their moves to stop the plans. This is a collision of all parties involved. What do we think of episode 10, Collision?
Episode 10, Jesus Christ. I was fucking not let down. I was not. One of my favorite parts of the episode was seeing the whole body improvement team defend Mob.
And then I first didn't think Dimple got in his body. At first I
either.
thought that was him. I was like, he's a psychic?
That's why it was so intense. I was like, this dude's cutting up. I was like, he's not letting that dude shit on him. And the whole Regan fighting with the dude at first was hilarious.
Yep.
Anytime Regan, you know me, Regan gets some time, I love it.
And then he wasn't going to fight unless he couldn't get an insurance claim. I thought that was hilarious.
Fucking hilarious. Regan is just one of the most well-written characters because he's always funny, but he's always has substance with his funny.
And this was the episode where they basically got their ass whooped. This was the ass whoop episode.
Oh, they got their ass whooped.
That Teru or whoever, the blonde-headed dude who used to have the high hair, he got his ass whooped in this episode.
I think this is what we were all waiting for.
Yeah.
For shit to get fucking serious.
Bro, when that teleportation dude just started kicking niggas' ass, I was just like, whoa, he whooping their ass.
Bruh. I think that was the next episode.
Oh, that was the next, okay.
Because he started whooping their ass in that episode.
That ass in that episode. Yeah, no, for sure.
But I just remember in the next episode, whenever he did that, that's whenever he went. He already booted up on him at first, but then he booted up on him even harder in the second episode. To me, that the last two episodes we saw with just the little the teleportation slant eye guy, that just fight was on par with some Madara devastation for me. Not saying on par with the intensity of the scene when Madara touched down, but I just remember when Madara touched down, he was so overpowered and he was fucking up so many people.
Yeah,
that's what this reminded me of. He was fucking everybody up, dog.
No, you were right. This episode is pretty much just the main. That was most so next episode. It did start in this, but this was the gym improvement homies helping out.
Yeah, and the big thick fucking swole steroid guy.
Yeah, this was the start of it.
And that was hard, to be honest. Steroid dude was raw with it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking most of the stuff I'm thinking was from next episode. So what would you rate?
Build it up too.
What would you rate episode 10?
I'll give it I almost said 5. It's slipping out, bro. I'm gonna give it a 4.5, 4.8.
I'm gonna give it a solid 4.5. It's right there.
Mine is right in between 4.5 and 5.
Not a 5 quite yet, but does episode 11 do it? Episode 11, this is where everything the battles just takes off. Pretty much we see everybody doing their own battle while Sho and I forget what's his brother's name? While Sho and Ritsu are going out, Ritsu's trying to fight the teleportation guy while Mob's taking on the plant dude. And then we see Kogami come out because the plant dude from Claw comes there. And then Kogami takes care of the evil plant guy from Claw. And he's like, Mob, man, you gotta get stern. You gotta you can think well of humans, but at some point when they prove you wrong, you gotta be stern with them so they stay true. And that lesson stayed with Mob till the end of the episode, but that was pretty much all we saw from Mob, while the rest of the group is just fighting the teleportation dude.
Getting their fucking ass whooped.
Teru, Ritsu, and the entire old Claw, they get their ass whooped, but by the end of it, Mob comes in and just saves their asses, and they're like, yo, we gotta go take on the leader, and Mob's like, nah, dog, y'all stay here, y'all will slow me down, this is my fight, y'all fought y'all fight, now it's time for me to go fight Mob.
Yep.
What'd you think of episode 11's guidance?
Episode 11 was easily one of my favorite episodes in the series so far. Just because we got to see that beatdown, that ass whooping, that whole... he whooped a lot of people's ass, the fucking teleportation guy.
Yeah.
I remember when he grabbed homie that went from weird hair to Naruto hair.
Yeah.
They grabbed him by the back of his head and he's like, bitch, you want to fucking play with me?
Yeah, he slammed him to the floor and then he was in the air.
Yeah, he teleported
bro,
4 different times.
That animation was crazy.
Smashed him into the floor, teleported, smashed him into a car window, teleported, smashed him into a building side, teleported, left his ass in the middle of the sky, and dropped him.
That shit was crazy. The animation in these fights, and then when they finally started to figure him out, when Naruto hair dude started to figure him out, and then they started fighting back, and then when he was like, nah, third eye open, bow, and he was like, whoop y'all ass, and then this Mob just came and he was like, nah, I can't fight this dude. This dude just too strong. And then Regan with the sneak attack, your boy.
That was hilarious. and iconic.
It keeps coming
That
back
showed
to
you
me.
who
I still
Regan-
think Regan's a psychic.
He might be, bruh. He might be.
Or
I like
he's
how homie reacted. He was like, "Damn, this dude's so strong he could conceal his power."
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, bruh. Regan back at it, bruh.
What would you rate this episode 11?
I give this one a 5.
Yeah, this a 5 for
Even
me,
seeing
too.
Mob at the end say, "Hey
Yeah.
man, y'all niggas need to stay behind." They're like, "You sure?" So we got this. Like,
And
son,
I think the next couple episodes gonna be some 5s too.
Mob was like, "Bruh, this really hurts to let out my mouth, but y'all would really honestly just get in my way. I'm about to fuck some shit
and
up."
Regan was like, "I'm not gonna stop him. Dimple, just go watch him. Make sure you're
That
all right."
made me excited as hell.
We about to get some 5s for the next couple.
Mob, and this is why, again, I'm going again with my hot take, dog. Mob is the best kid protagonist, bro.
Woo.
Like, he's shitting on all my favorites.
I can't
like,
wait till you watch Deku in this
like-
in season 4.
I'm saying with like anime strictly. I gotta say that 'cause I
Yeah.
haven't seen Deku in the manga, but as far as and Deku is like right after.
That's
him
what I'm
to
saying.
me.
I can't wait till you see season 4
Like to
Deku
me,
because I think
Boruto doesn't come close. To me, Gon from Hunter x Hunter, one of my favorites, doesn't come close. To Deku or to because to me Gon is cool, but Deku,
it's Killua for me at that show. Who's the kid?
Killer was the kid boss.
and then Austin.
Asta, come on, let's be real.
Yeah,
I
But
love
no,
Asta.
wait
but
till
let's be
season
real.
4. You see Deku. We gonna have this conversation when that comes
But
out.
as far as just Mob, it's not even just the action, the OP-ness, because he's overpowered. Whenever you see Gon do the transformation and get overpowered,
He
that's
loses
not the reason
himself,
why.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not the reason why we love Gon. That's just him being overpowered isn't enough to make him top tier kid main protagonist. Mob, he is growing mentally as well as physically. You're seeing him go from. At the beginning of the series, we thought 100 was his cap.
Yeah.
Then you started seeing him go to question mark.
And
then
now
you
we
just
don't
started
even
seeing
know.
him flash the fuck out. Now we don't know what he's capable of.
Yep, and that I can't wait to see what that dude shows. Dad puts that 20-year hurt on showing Mob. That's
An intense whole thing to watch. That being his father and
Yeah.
being him trying to be better than his father. His father like, you'll never be fucking. You know, like,
That shit gonna be crazy.
oh, that's cute. You held up 3 years of power for that. That's cute. I held up 20 years of power. I'm about to show you a little taste of that.
Yeah, man.
It's just such a good show. Such good characters and character progression, character development, and just characters staying true to themselves. With this show only being 2 seasons deep, every time Regan pops up on the screen, I'm loving it. Not just because I love Regan as a character, because everything fits in his character. These characters got introduced, their personalities got introduced, and then their personalities only got better and better as you saw. You didn't see them do anything out of character. You only seen it get progressed even more and evolved even more.
No, I agree with you. But that's our Mob Psycho review. Can't wait to see what comes next. Let's get to Promise Neverland, episode 9. As Emma steps down from the moving escape plan forward, a new shipment date has been announced earlier than expected, and someone will get shipped before Ray. We find out it is Norman, and Emma and Ray are like, look, we're gonna go and get you, set you up to where you can escape. And basically the episode ends with, spoiler alert, we spoil everything every time. Norman finds out he was gonna go with the plan, he was gonna run away, but then he sees that over that wall is nothing but a big cliff. It drops off and there's a big moat that separates them from getting into the wilderness. Chris, what do you think of episode 9 of Promise Neverland?
Before I speak on episode 9, 'cause I'm about to jump into it real fast, but going back to episode 8, at the end when Mom broke Emma's leg, right?
Yeah.
You knew seeing Norman stand there like, you could see that Norman was like, what the fuck? You could see that he was about to have a shift. I think it was this episode. I don't think it was the last episode when he walked into the bathroom and walked into the sink and like splashed his face and was just sitting there like, is this real fucking life?
Yeah, I think that was this episode where he does. Yeah, that is this episode where he
Yeah,
does
I
that.
saw this shit and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is real. He's gonna fucking die. I was like, they're gonna ship him off. He's gonna get eaten. And he's just sitting there. It's super dramatic, super intense. And then at the end of the episode, you see them figure out the plan. You see the plan get set into motion. You think he's about to follow the plan. At the end, whenever Mom is out there and she's like, they're like, where's Norman? And Mom's like, I wonder where fucking Norman is.
And then she looks and
She looks at the little thing. She's like, and she looks at it just with a straight face for a second. She's still looking at it with straight face.
And I'm guessing he starts coming back, and she's like
the camera pans on Emma and Ray, and they're sitting there like, stupid ass bitch. You don't even know what the fuck we
Yeah.
got going on. You dumb as hell. And they're sitting there smirking like, we got her. We finally got her. And she's just sitting there like, and she closes it and smiles like, nothing. And they're sitting there like, whoa. We're not expecting that reaction from you looking at that. Did he not break the shit and whatever? Then all of a sudden you see him coming up and everybody's like, what the fuck? But the big thing that got me was the dead the dead eyes he had. You could see in his eyes that he saw some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, why is he looking like that? You could tell. I feel like they did that on purpose to have his face look like that way.
Yeah, because it was at that point. It's like, damn, do I escape or do I hold out hope that these guys can escape? Because now that we know this cliff, I need to give them that information. I'm gonna just take my death so these guys can escape.
To him, it looked like, to me, whenever he saw that cliff,
And did you see the pin? You saw the pin in the basket in the drawer. He pulled out.
Yeah. He grabbed the pin. That's
Submit that with that chrome.
I'm excited
pin.
for that too. But seeing him come back and tell him it's a cliff, and then the episode ended. Me having to wait next week to find out what happens after that. I'm like,
yeah, that probably
what?
fucked you up.
A cliff?
And then also in this episode, which was dope, we find out that Ray had retained all his memories from birth, so he'd been knowing about the demons since he came out about that.
I
That
definitely
was
forgot
another
about
thing
that.
that was interesting about this
That
episode.
was a very good tidbit. That was very good. I was like, he remembered everything from since the womb. Like, he remembered in the womb.
Rate episode 9, 1 through 5?
5. I'm going 5.
Going
bro.
5. I'm giving this one a solid 4 or 5.
I got this one 5 just because of the intensity of every single second. The second when he was in the bathroom with the washing his hands and shit fell, and it was just like, bruh, I'm sitting there. It's nothing going on besides just him showing his emotion.
Now that bathroom thing in the manga, they did it different. I liked how they did it in the anime because they just had him sitting there filling up that water, and you see the pain like, damn, I can't make it, but I gotta stay strong to figure out a way for them to make it.
Like, I was feeling it at that
yeah,
point.
no,
Like,
that I was like, my girl was like, "What the hell is this?" And I was like,
pain was
"Oh,
on me.
you want to know what this anime is?"
Yeah.
She's like, "This shit crazy, a little crazy,
This is a little wild.
This is a little wild." I was like, "Yeah, they getting eaten by demons." She's like, "Whoa!"
This is just raw emotion, bro. You could just see it, the internal struggle that's going on. And to me, some of the best forms of art, even from English class in high school, I remember being taught that a lot of the best the best stories are stories where you can kind of feel the emotion of the characters going on without them necessarily saying, I'm sad, I'm scared.
And you felt it 100% in episode 9. Let's get to episode 10. Emma loses yet another ally and friend in the brink of despair. Mom pays her in a visit in the infirmary. This is the episode where Norman decides, like, look, I'm leaving. And pretty much Norman is like, he leaves, and Emma tries to stop him. Norman's like, no, Emma, you gotta push forward. He hands her the taser back to stop the stuff, and then he leaves something for Ray, which we don't know. And then Ray and Emma are distraught. They go into depression mode. Mom basically is trying to monitor them to make sure that they're not trying to escape. And when Norman goes to get captured, instead of going to the bus, they put him into this room and we never see him again. And then Emma and Ray, months go by, they're depressed. The depressed mom goes and sees her and like, why don't you try to become a mom instead of staying depressed? And Emma's like, no, I can't do that. And she was like, well, fine, be in your agony forever. And then the episode ends with it's Ray's birthday night, and he looks at her and he goes to Emma, are you done with trying to escape? And as he has a smirk on his face, and then Emma looks up with the most devilish eyes, and the episode ends. I know that got you. At that point, I know you was probably like, I gotta read this shit.
That did get me,
because I was like, damn, that's crazy. That's
I
how they
literally
did that
said
shit.
that. Like, while we were watching, I watched this show with my girl. We both, since episode 1, I kind of told her, I was like, this is one of the ones that's one of the biggest anime series, one of the biggest manga series. I'm going into this no prior knowledge. Like, you want to watch it with me? And she was like, yeah, let's see it. If I don't like it, I'm just going to not watch it. And since episode 1, she has been as hooked as me, if not more hooked as me, because this is the episode that broke her, bro. This episode, she shed tears.
I could imagine, like, and when I read it, I was like, because when I read it, it happened a lot faster. Like, the months went by fast, and then, like, the chapter didn't end with Emma being like, all right, now with just her with her face like, all right, yeah, I got a plan.
It's time to fucking go.
You knew the plan that was coming next, and at the end, I was like, damn. So we not gonna see the plan in this episode? They just really gonna end it with us thinking she depressed, and then when they just ended with the smirk, I was like, damn, they bastards.
They executed the anime super well.
Clever bastards.
It's got me wanting to go back. I said right there, I'm like, I gotta start reading the manga. My girl was
Bro,
like,
it's crazy.
My girl was like, no, you're not gonna do that. Pass me up.
I'm so interested to see where they end the season, because do they end the season with whether or not they escape, or like, because it's gonna be interesting, because I don't want to say nothing, because I'm very interested where they end the season, because if they ended in a spot where you get a crazy cliffhanger, you gonna have to read.
Yeah, I will. There's no way around it.
Because there's two spots where they can end it where I'm like, okay, if they ended here, that's just a big tease. But if they ended at the other spot, it's like, damn.
Let's just hope it's like Dragon Ball Super and doesn't give us an ending of a season. Let's just hope the season keeps going and going, because they didn't really announce like Black Clover. Black Clover got the 40-something episodes, and then the episodes got renewed.
I think this might have. I want to say it's either between 12 and 21. It's something like that.
Now see, we're getting there then.
Like 12 is right here. So 12 is next episode.
Yeah, we're getting there, bro.
So I hope it's not 12. But
me too. I
if
hope
it's
we
21,
get to at least 21, dog.
We shall see. What would you rate episode 11?
I gotta say a few things before I give it, because there's a lot of this shit that coming into it. I know a lot of people have read the manga already, but because you one of the ones that read the manga, you know what I'm saying? So you know what's going on. But as far as all the people like me that's like not knowing what the fuck is going on right now and what's gonna happen, there was a lot of key moments that just sat with me, and it's just like, I don't think Norman's dead. You know what I'm saying? Because when they put him in that room, whenever they put Norman in that fucking room, my girl, like I gotta kind of go into just how we felt going through the episode. I'm watching Emma. I'm watching Mom send Norman off, and Norman's like, y'all stop crying, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Little girl, stop crying, little sissy, whatever the fuck. And give me a hug, send me off with a smile. And she's like, all right. And then you see Emma like, no, fuck that. And she's trying to stop the shit. I'm sitting there like, oh. It's
about to go down.
And even my girl sitting there like, oh shit, he's not gonna get sent off. Emma's gonna do something crazy. And then there was a point when the shit hit the fan and like my jaw dropped, because she tries to grab him. He's like, no, stops her from saving him and was like, I'm going, dude. I'm leaving. And then Mom grabbed her and was like, if you try some shit like that, I will fucking murder you. And I'm not joking. I was like, oh shit, did she just tell Emma she's gonna kill her in front of all the kids?
Just and like
she did it on the cool.
Yeah,
but
like a little whisper.
I was like, no. So after that, we had our little hopes get up about, Norman staying alive. And then after that, he's getting set off and all the shit's going down. And my girl's just like, no. And like tears are falling. I'm like, okay, you a little bit too emotionally invested, because I'm emotionally invested, but I'm sitting there like, I still got some hope. I'm sitting there like, there's no way.
Because in the manga, the one thing they alluded was, in the manga, when he walked in that room, they gave a justification that because he was a special meat breed, he had to go in there instead of getting eaten the way that the girl did.
Okay. Now see
that, they excluded that, and I wonder if they're going to put that in the next episode.
That would have made me think about what's happening a little bit differently. But before they even take him on the trip, I'm sitting there in my mind watching Emma struggle with him before he even leaves out. By the time Mama's sitting there saying, I'll kill you if you try some shit like that again, and my girl's already in tears, I'm sitting there not in tears, not feeling that much emotion, because I'm like, I don't feel like he's about to die right now. I feel like they're setting it up, they're drawing it out, they're making it feel really emotional, but there's no way they're gonna kill him off this fast. This is what I'm thinking in my head. Then after that, you see him get walked out, and I'm watching everything in detail really closely. And they show him before they put him in the room. They show him, he's sitting there, he's like, he's looking at the back of the truck where they found Connie dead. And they're sitting there he's looking at it like, damn, this is my destiny. And Mom grabbed him like, no, this is your destiny. Come in this room.
See, I thought the phrasing of this was interesting.
They would have never done that.
In the manga, they definitely was like, yeah, no, you can't go here because you're a special type of meat.
Yeah, you gonna get ate, motherfucker.
Yeah, like they made that shit. But see, I can't comment on anything because I don't want to sway any of.
I kind of texted you a little bit about what I thought.
And I tried not, and I couldn't respond to you.
And I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go full with it. But what I fully think is, Mom put him in that room to separate him from Emma and Ray, to kind of kill their motivation, so she could sit her down and be like, "Hey, Norman's dead, bruh. Did your hope die yet?" Really? I'm trying to think of like, what was it, Pain in Naruto, where he was just like trying to kill their hope, and like, no, you will experience pain. This is not life. This is life.
And I just can't wait till you see the next, to find out that what they've been doing in that off time.
I'm excited
because they've been.
I'm to the point where I can't wait anymore. Like, I'm fighting opening the app right now.
Ray and Emma, the way they played that off of just being depressed? They was like them niggas was working,
and they were making it seem like Norman was really dead, and the whole time they're depressed. I'm like, there's no way.
What made me know in the anime, which was like the I guess the giveaways, was Don and Gilda. Don and Gilda was never crying. If you notice,
that's true. What if they know more shit? But I feel like the only reason why she separated them was to sit Emma down and tell her that shit. And hearing that resonated with me personally, again, because of why Don won me over that one episode. Because you remember the first few reviews, I was like, fuck Don. He sucks. I hate this guy. But then whenever he was like, bruh, y'all niggas, I knew y'all were lying to me from the jump. He was like, the reason why I was so mad and passionate about everything is because I knew y'all were lying to me. And I felt like, damn, son, y'all don't even trust me enough to handle that with me. And he's like, that's not even why I'm really mad either. The real reason why I'm mad is I can't do shit. I am stuck. And seeing mom tell Emma, mom was like, look, just give up. And she was like, I'm not gonna give up. And she was like, but what if I make the deal sweet for you and make you a mom? And Emma's like, her eyes get all big, like, I can't believe you would even say some shit like that. And at that point, I'm like, damn, son, I've been there. I've been with my back against the wall, people saying, just give up, just give up, just give up. And there's no other option. And I'm sitting there like, bro, I'm gonna make another option. Yeah. And it always worked for me. So I'm sitting there respecting the shit out of Emma. Emma's turning into one of my favorite new shonen characters because she's sitting there like, I'm not giving up no matter what the fuck you say. I'm ride or die. Like,
moments like those make me love Emma, but moments like the ones with Norman make me hate her because it's like, you can't be that brash in this world.
Yeah, especially how she tried to like.
You can't be Luffy and Naruto in Goku in this world. You got to be a little more calculated. And like, I love the fire that you have to, the resiliency, but you can't be that brash.
Yeah, that was a little bit. That was some Don shit when she just ran because like you don't know what you're doing.
And that brashness continues through the show. And it just I can't talk about that.
I'm just excited to see how the fuck they're gonna get over this wall if they get over
the wall. 100%. How would you rate episode 11?
Another 5. Yeah, this is back to back 5s to me, dog.
This is a 5.
I can't see this any other way, just from level of like how intimately I'm involved with the story. Like, I'm knee deep into it to where the point where I'm just thinking about it randomly in my day when I'm not like.
You gotta read it.
I'm like looking at my phone like, should I open up
the new chapters are crazy. Yo, the new chapters.
I'm getting there. Like, whenever the season ends, I'm probably just gonna pick it up.
You gotta read it because it's wild.
I'm gonna say fuck it and pick it up because there's no way I'm gonna be able to wait until whenever the next season drops because right now it's hard enough me waiting for. The only reason that's keeping me not reading it is because I know there's a new episode next week.
But wait till you gotta wait a year.
Nah, I ain't gonna be no waiting a year, dog. It's already to the point where I'm about to start following the manga as I watch. Not saying as I watch, but like as I'm done with the anime, I'm gonna catch up on the manga to that point to kind of see what they did differently. To kind of get both aspects fresh to kind of see
what your theories are going.
Yeah, what I'm gonna see going forward. Exactly.
100%. All right, well, that's been episode 23 of the Bros Who Think podcast. Hope you enjoyed our reviews as well. Hope you enjoyed the whole episode. Remember, please subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify, wherever you get podcasts at, and be sure to check out the My Hero Chapter 220 review. Krista, tell the people where they can find you out on social media.
Krista SJE, no spaces if you're trying to type in the twitter.com/ or the instagram.com/ or just the at Krista SJE everywhere. But if you're searching for some anime tunes, go and put a space in between the Krista and the SJE, and there's always some new shit for you to jam.
Can't wait for that Weave God to hit. Ooh.
Bro, this is like, I'm so excited about it. I got a lot of surprises with this one, but I don't want to speak too much on them, but I just want to let everybody know, be prepared. I'm about to like literally stamp this shit.
Can't wait. You guys can follow me at BurnLindenDon on Twitter, at LindenBurden II on Instagram. That's LindenBurden II. Like I said, be sure to check out our My Hero Academia Chapter 220 review if you're up to date on the manga. Be sure to check out all our streams and Twitches. Check out everything on YouTube, as well as the other podcasts that are released throughout the week. But for Krista, my name is Linden. Enjoy your break. Enjoy until not next Tuesday, but the following when we talk to you guys again. And by that time, we shall be live with a video podcast for you guys. But for Krista, my name is Linden. You guys have a great week. Enjoy yourselves and be safe. Peace.